there music playing?
All right.
Or
There should some people play music during it, but I generally don't play music.
okay.
I play my own.
Okay.
Fun
So
to
you
do.
guys.
Yeah.
So yeah. Hello everyone. Welcome to our Thursday night D&D session. We follow the blessed on their journey to save the world. They're currently in the dwarven city, investigating some attacks that have some seemingly random attacks that have taken place in the slums of that city, perpetrated by drow against dwarves. They met the drow representative. They investigated a murder, and they attempted to apprehend some drow who are often acting pretty shifty. That resulted in those drow being slain. It turns out they were transporting an illegal substance, and but they fought these drow, the ones perpetrating this crime, in the middle of the street, and they brutally sort of killed these drow. So a small crowd has formed. Most of the drow usually keep to themselves. Like I said, they don't trust or particularly like outsiders. So they were you felt their glares and their stares from their windows or their homes, but they didn't. But a small crowd, just due to the noise, small crowd has formed, trying to see what's going on, and when they see the fact that two of their sort of fellow members of their race have been slain by these so-called outsiders, there is appropriate, expressions of shock and fear, and panic, and they're probably at this point, you don't think there's enough animosity for them to sort of attack you, but they're definitely looking apprehensive. Some of them are running away, and it doesn't look, it doesn't look like you guys might be in a tough spot, and so do you say anything to these drow to try to calm the situation?
I'm gonna try and nudge Alara, probably.
Sure. I want to give her guidance actually.
Okay. Yes. I was wanting to see if you guys want to say anything first, but yes, she'll if you guys don't say anything, she'll definitely step up. For those
Sounds like it's not gonna help.
for those new
Situation.
to the campaign, we do have two new people join us. Larry is the name of the drow representative, and she's sort of showing you around the Undercity, and helping you guys out. And she says, she didn't smell the same smell you did, Alistair. You see, she's just as confused. She's slightly confused as to what happened. She does know that the drow did attack you as well, and so she will she'll try her best, but she says, fellow drow, don't worry. These people are here. Although it may not seem like it, they're here to help us. They're here investigating the recent attacks that have taken place in our part of Khazar-El-Dun. I'm sure they had a good reason. She looks at you all like questioning for doing what they did.
I'll send her a message saying we were attacked and they had the poison. Don't let them know about the poison.
Okay.
I'm picking brains off my maul.
Yeah, so she says, they had a suspect. They had a suspect. These two drow knew where the suspect was, but when they attempted to question them, they pulled out weapons and attacked. And so the members of the investigation party were forced to defend themselves, and the result is what you see before you. She's not good at public speaking, and that becomes immediately clear, but she's trying her best. And her earnestness is sort of getting through to the rest of the drow, especially since they know who she is and they seem to trust what she has to say. And she says, "I ask you to please return to your homes, and be at ease." And so
Does it work?
the crowd. Let me get for the return to your homes bit. Will need a roll on her part. Which what I'm gonna do is I have her sheet. She's good at persuasion though, but we'll see.
She got that D4.
Yeah. Reason being, I made her a sorcerer, so she has that charisma bonus. Oh no!
Oh,
She rolled. That makes sense because she's not good at public speaking. D4,
Yeah, you can see
Oh, that's gonna hurt.
which will get at least a 10. And are you guys helping her in any way?
I'll pull out my seeing how the crowd's kind of days.
They're not sure. Like you definitely get the sense that they're believing the first part. But when she asked them to disperse, that's where there's some hesitation there.
I want to brandish my symbol of Magisa. Say, we have been blessed by the aspects. This is divine holy business, and we must insist that you disperse at once.
All right. So that can give her advantage on her roll, or it can give you opportunity to roll.
No, that one, the first one, please.
Okay. So she'll roll again. There it is.
Hey,
So yes, 24 is definitely enough to get the crowd. There are some murmurs, like outsider influence and stuff like that. You guys hear with your passive perceptions, but for the most part, most of the people do disperse, and Alara breathes a sigh of relief. And sort of as she does, these dwarven guards come up, and behind them are two non-dwarvish figures.
what sort of figures do they have?
I'll let them. I'll let them describe their characters. But one is a white dragonborn, and one looks like a female white dragonborn, and one looks like a male Aasimar, a male Aasimar. Would you guys like to?
Wow, what colorful characters.
Would you guys like to describe your characters in more detail?
Let the
You
Asmar go
first, friend.
Oh.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
Okay, let me do that. So, for you is a. Let's see what. We've got a gold skin Aasimar, tall figure, well groomed red hair, just ending at the base of his neck. At the base of his. Although you can't really see that because he's got a hood over him. A nice beige colored hood, beige garments that are orange and yeah, I suppose slender figure, but there you go, more or less. And he's got an Temple of Cassia, I believe, with staff. That is what he is adorned with.
Okay, and Erland is a white-scaled female dragonborn. You see some black pants. You see a gray shirt. She has these gray horns that kind of curve out and curve back along her head and then upward. And then a few of I'm not sure what they call them on Dragonborn because they have like these hair tendrils. They have a few hair tendrils coming from the back of her head as well. You see a sword you see a scabbard at her side. a pair of fingerless gloves, and a sort of a red shirt with a black jacket of some leather on it.
All right. Yes, these two thusly described individuals are behind the the dwarves around. The dwarves, of course, are running up asking what's going on. Alera is able to explain the situation to them. They'll say they'll need to take. They seem to roll with it because these drow have been randomly attacking people for a while now, so they'll need to take them back to the guard outpost, and they begin to do so. But they mention as they're leaving, oh, by the way, these people said they were friends of yours or something. They're also from Stormhaven. They bear the marks of one of their emissaries. That being, of course, a ring made of mithril with the seal or symbol of the city on it. And you'll notice that the two newcomers also have it on their on wherever they choose to wear it.
Oh yes, that's right. She is sort of wearing half plate. Although you can see the red shirt is sort of covers along one her chest, and then just a little bit of her left shoulder as well.
And you said that this was just the emblem, or so it's not. That's it.
It's more like a signet ring, if you're familiar with those, but it's cast out of mithril, and the symbol where it would have like your family's crest on it. It is the symbol of Stormhaven, and I don't know what that is lore-wise. I didn't make up symbol for every city-state, but it would be recognizable
Sliz's
too.
face.
It is not at Slizik's face.
Oh, come on, man.
But why would it be though?
Collaborative storytelling, Nathan.
I mean,
That's why.
I try, but they don't know what until maybe a couple of months ago, maybe half a year ago, they didn't know what a Slizik was. So
They will.
it's hard to justify them having
Certainly do now.
a crest for a 5,000-year-old city based on someone they've known for 6
Oh,
months.
damn, Nathan.
But yes, I've got the signet ring present on my right hand. We'll go right.
Well, may I ask, either of you had any strange dreams as of late?
Perhaps a few too many.
Methinks all dreams are strange, friend. However, I have on good authority that we are speaking of dream in kind.
Yes, it appears so. Right. Well,
And you, the rest of the three, or you all, I think he designated Alistair as his chosen recipient. But Alistair, you get a sending in the head.
oh,
It's from your good old pal Alaric, way back in Stormhaven.
Ugh.
And he says, oh, right, forgot to mention, some other two individuals came by Stormhaven, and it turns out they're blessed, just like you guys and I am. It's a small world. Anyway, I made them emissaries of Stormhaven, and sent them your way. They should be getting there pretty soon.
they just stack a couple sending on top of each other.
Yeah, his sending is not. It's for exposition. It's not for so he can bend the rules somewhat, so he can deliver exposition as needed.
Must learn this magic.
It's the magic of plot and story.
Yeah, I'll send Bella. Yes, we just met them in the middle of this whole drow dying as of mysterious assassins business, and we'll get everyone all united. Lickety split.
All right, I look forward to your next report.
Was that Alaric?
Yes, Alaric just now mentioned. A few more joining us here. Well, You've caught us at a bit of a situation.
Yeah.
Have a patch down at the moment. But I can assure you, they deserved it. They were attacked. And these are large amounts of dangerous drugs.
What is Slizik's reaction to a female dragonborn? Is there like dewlap enlargement or
What? No, it's not like a fucking Bugs Bunny cartoon.
No.
I mean, this is the first female dragonborn you've seen, but yeah. I mean,
Whatever?
no. Like in the campaign, I think it's the first female dragonborn that's been introduced as an NPC or anything. I'm sure you've seen them in
maybe
places.
in the brothel, but you were kind of preoccupied.
Oh yeah, you were tied up then.
I mean, what do you want me to do? I don't like go boy yo yo yo.
Yeah, I mean, it's just dragonborn in this are I think they're in Forgotten Realms too, but they're pretty rare. So just seeing, it may bring you.
Okay, well,
You see them as maybe it's I don't know how you'll feel, but maybe it's like, oh, there's someone else competent. You're usually an arrogant race, so so it's like, oh, it's someone who's actually competent joins the party. That's good. Something like, I don't know. You RP it as you will.
I'll just raise an eyebrow in my mind. I'm not gonna see anything.
I'm perfect. Someone who can actually help me keep my other identity in line.
Oh God, that's not what I wanted to hear.
I'm gonna hand Slizik my water skin.
Yeah, I'm gonna need that. That's from what the sound is of this one. Yeah, I'll slime back some. What is this, turpentine at this point? Like it's.
Very well. Yeah, well, how rude of me, sorry, say. I am Alistair Winthrop Delfontaine. A bit of a wizard as well as a part-time cleric. You see this this wizardly fellow in a large like wizardly hat with like little pockets and bits and bobs kind of tucked in there. Strangely enough, he's wearing robes, but over those robes, he's wearing what appears to be a mithril breastplate that has been form-fitted, even though this man is very much probably pushing over 300 pounds. It has sculpted head and abs on the breast.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
You say you that's a curiosity. I should say that I'm familiar with their works in some respects. Do you hail to a particular domain? Do you identify with?
How do you mean? What type of magic do I study? Or are you talking about where I'm from?
I think he's inquiring to what sort of domain is your cleric.
Oh, well, that would be the knowledge domain, of course.
Which is clerics and the like. Even if you're not familiar, everyone would know this as well. Even if you're not familiar, Magisa is the aspect of knowledge and magic. For those more familiar with Forgotten Realms, I just put Mistra and Ogma into one, sort of, for all intents and purposes.
This has been. I'm grateful to be in your.
Yep, I'm Slizik, just a big ass, 7 foot tall,
Yeah.
shredded as shit.
Slizik is also probably 300 pounds, but whereas for Alistair it's fat, Slizik it's corded muscle.
Yeah, he's fucking yoked, and he's got some kind of fur, kind of leather armor over top that kind of sheds motes of ice as he moves around.
Yeah, it's almost as if the armor is emitting like a frost.
Yeah, and in his hand is just a ginormous, like 6 foot tall maul, stylized into a sort of thunderbolt shape. It is right now kind of dirty with brains and viscera. He kind of self-consciously washes it off.
Alera is offering to clean it up with some prestidigitation if you
Yeah,
want.
that'd be super great.
I'm Aja. I'm the, I guess I'm the marksman here, and I like to keep it classy.
Yeah.
You
Use your
do.
wineskins.
You guys all do smell the alcohol from her wineskin as she says that, or her water skin as she says that.
Kind of an aura.
I. You see Aelin just kind of still looking at Slizik is like,
So, split personalities.
no, not split personality. It's more just a way of being able to live a better lifestyle. Underneath a different name, as to say.
Oh, geez, that's a lot to unpackage. Well, as long as you guys are comfortable with potential assassinations and some, intrigue and the like, I think we'll do swimmingly.
I've been comfortable with that for quite a while.
Well, we
Well,
could.
now that we're all here, how do we really feel about Alaric?
He's a real wiener.
I thought you guys bonded with your strength competition.
Still a wiener.
Boy Scout, goody two shoes, but yeah, you know the type.
They all
Well-
have their place.
We actually could use this fresh set of eyes on this case of ours. We don't really have any leads at the moment.
I do have the scent.
Oh. Of what?
Listen,
This aerosol fury.
Yeah, it's a
What's it?
So in the in the barrels that these drow, they didn't take the cart. It's still here. Actually, no, they probably would have. Alera would have said it was illegal goods, and they would have taken the cart as well. But the scent he was referring to is what led you to these drow in the first place. That the scent of the drug is known as fury. It basically puts you into a berserker
I'm well
rage.
acquainted.
Yes. And you guys smelled it briefly before in Rydal before it went up in smoke.
We've smelled it a few times,
But it was enough for Alistair to recognize what it is. And that's why you attacked or questioned and were attacked by these drow. You might, because it's a gas, you might be able to smell it in other parts of the city if you spread out and look for it.
Did we search the cart already?
I don't think you did. For story purposes, Alera will leave it up to you guys. So, her initial sort of reaction was to let the dwarves take it away and deal with it. But if you say to her, we need to, investigate and, this cart, then she'll let you guys do so.
Whoa, boys. Official police business. Let me in here. I'm going to just kind of sort through this cart and see what's going on. I'm particularly looking for anything that might betray, like, their allegiance. If they have any kind of sigil that they, for some reason, just sort of left back here.
I'm gonna start like as if I'm like, well, hold on, let me, and then I'm just gonna, well, all right, when I'll give him guidance and I'll see how he does.
All right. So, so you're looking through. It looks like there are 4 barrels of the stuff on here. Are you cracking these barrels open?
Yeah, I rage loot.
Okay. So, looking through, you see that there are a number of bottles of the stuff. They are placed in different. They have like these wooden sort of dividers to keep them from rattling or from breaking apart in transit. But yeah, it looks like there's bottles of this, and in each one there's this sort of swirling red like gas or that you would all recognize as rage.
Oh, it's that good stuff.
There is each barrel has about 20 in there, so there is 80 probably total. Does anyone have a criminal background?
Yes.
Or okay, yeah, a pirate background, which is close enough. You know that this is a lot of illegal merchandise.
Yeah.
Like you don't know where the drow got this, but whoever sold it to them is a big deal. Because
How many bottles are
there's
there?
80 total in this.
Hey guys,
What?
there's 60 bottles of Fury in here.
Would I know, just out of curiosity, like who would be in the market for this at all? Or why would they want to be in the market for this kind of stuff? For these balls of rage, as you call it?
I can't remember what to call them. They're either called Fury or they're called Rage.
Fury.
They're called Fury, but they incite rage. But yeah,
Okay.
I called it Fury because the barbarians have the rage mechanic to differentiate them. Do you have a criminal background? Are you from Medina or Rydal or any of the surrounding towns from those places?
I believe we talked about it. I believe we talked about being from somewhere around there. About it.
All right.
At least in our session 0.
Yes.
Our 1-on-1.
Let's see. Yeah, if you're coming from, if you're sort of around one of those, or if you're thinking of placing your character, I'll move back to the world map really quick. If you're thinking about placing your character around Rydal or Medina, way down to the south, then
Then no. That wouldn't work here, unfortunately. Like, not even sort of my travels or like sort of my Charlotte, my sort of like my the times I use my fake identity as I've been kind of just wondering.
Fury
about.
isn't a drug that would cater to your person of your fake background. It's more of a
Okay.
it is used. You do know, if you're familiar with military tactics. Sometimes if you want shock troops, maybe you don't have time to particularly train them well. You can always just hop them up on Fury, and then just point them to the nearest enemy, and they will get to swinging. And so it can be effective in that sort of way if you have a military background.
I do, yes.
Yeah, so you would know that, but it's a cheap sort of solution, and it's generally frowned upon to treat people like that because you're essentially co-signing them to death.
Okay.
But it is a yes, it is a military strategy, albeit a poor one, or if you're in desperate need of fighters. But the cost of getting this much is something usually that only a very rich, maybe a noble, could do, but they wouldn't partake in, or a city could do. Someone with deep coffers, because this is a lot of stuff.
I'd say I almost certainly have dealt with this shit before, would you say?
Yeah, as a pirate, you probably ship some of this stuff, and also other illegal substances. Especially the dangers in transporting Fury, how it must be handled carefully, because if those bottles break, everyone on a ship is going to kill each other. So, it is a lot of money to transport barrels.
Oh, so if it's aerosolized, it's gonna.
Yeah, it is. It's corked, and you just cork it with a bottle and inhale, essentially.
So it's like that ship from Mad Max, that silver.
Yeah,
ship
that silver
that's
stuff.
Oh.
So yeah, but if it breaks and gets into the air, your whole crew is going to kill itself, essentially. So there are dangers in transporting, and as such, the price for transporting is appropriate. So it is.
Can I pick up a bottle?
Yeah, you can pick up a bottle.
Sure, I'll just pick up a bottle and just.
Careful with that.
Might be some use for us later. We'll
Yeah.
just
Due to how you can, due to the the dangers of it breaking and stuff, if you want to take some, you can probably, I'll have you roll a d4 to see how many you think you can successfully
I'm
take.
just looking at one.
Okay,
bottle,
one is
so
fine.
yeah.
One is fine for everyone if you want it, but if you want more than that, it'll be a D4.
No, I don't. No, we don't want to. Too many.
I have so many drugs on me. I'm
Yeah,
not gonna.
I added more just for the people who like to imbibe. I added like a stone skinny one, a
Right.
one that increases your perception and intelligence, and one that increases your charisma too.
Excellent.
I mean, the drug dealer option is open.
Yeah, I did mention that there are docks in the dwarven city, sort of an underground lake that leads out to a river. That's how they transport their goods, and they get a lot of non-dwarven people there who might be willing to trade some of their more illicit substances for coin. So if you do want to um, try to find some drugs that way, that's possible. They met an endearing drug dealer called Twitch in
Yeah.
Tweak.
Oh, Tweak. Sorry, Tweak.
Oh god.
Would I be able to? Would my lizard brain be able to deduce like this is a huge amount for more than like just your average?
This would
noble
kill a person.
dispute?
If one person, this would kill a person. One person inhaling all of this, the damage done, the amount of damage done to their brain and their lungs and their heart would be catastrophic. It would definitely
Is it
kill someone.
safe
It is
to assume that this is like for an army? Like, is this an army?
80
supply?
doses of this is
Yeah.
hefty. You're dosing up a large amount of people. Like gangs will generally have, if they're going to a gang war. Sometimes pirates too. Maybe the pirate offended your crew in some way, and so to make it up to them, they'll dose them with fury when next time they have a ship battle, and and chuck him over there, and he can redeem himself that way. But even still, that's like
Witness.
yeah, you'll never have more than 5 of those at one time, just because they're so unpredictable in battle, especially on the tight confines of a ship. They're as likely to attack friend as foe if you're attempting to board a ship.
On the bottles or anything else in this cart, is there anything that would indicate like an organization?
Perception check, please.
All right, I'll use my lizard eyes. That's pretty good.
You see a symbol etched into the. Let me see what your score is actually. Ho ho! That's actually pretty good for a. Okay, you see a symbol etched into the bottom of the bottle. It's very faint, but you still see it there. I'm frantically looking up. There we go. Okay. It looks like on the bottle is a very faint symbol of a club from a suit of cards.
Cunt.
Well, all right.
So, okay.
For those of you new, or need to remember that Rydal is ruled by 4 criminal enterprises that are based on a suit of cards: the clubs, hearts, spades, and diamonds. Club was the one generally responsible for warehousing, procuring magic items like that, but recently, due to dealings with Norath, attempted to branch out and disrupt the order of the city. So the party, put him down, and one of those being he was breaking in on the drug turf.
So, probably safe to assume this was for our enemies, most likely.
Something to consider.
I think.
Silizic shared his findings with the party. Oh,
Yeah, I'll hop out of the cart. There's about 60 bottles of Fury in there. I've kind of looked it over. It's etched with the crest of the King of Clubs from Rydal. And the huge amount makes me think that this isn't your average. Sometimes noblemen will use these shit for their petty disputes. This is for an army.
Why don't we just hold on to one for ourselves then, just in case. For
Oh,
the
I
time
think that's a good idea. To be fair, between Alistair and I think we have enough drugs to probably get this whole city fucked up.
Oh, yes.
They're frequent users of a drug called Rush, which increases your speed of your mental acuity. It gives you bonuses to
Still like
dexterity.
legally distinct from cocaine.
Gives you a bonus to initiative rolls and dexterity, skill checks and saving throws.
I just take one bottle from the 60 of
60 in quotes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just take one bottle.
taking one bottle's no problem.
Just want one. That's all I want. Just
Yeah.
one.
Well, let's see. No one happens to be able to speak to animals, now, would they?
I can, but they might not understand me.
I've spoken.
I'm told,
I've spoken to demons,
I'm
but
told
that's
that I can
entirely
say.
different.
That's disturbing.
I'm told I can be very convincing, but I don't think that I can be convincing enough myself.
Oh, fair enough. I was just wondering if, had these creatures run this route a few times, they could tell us where to go.
There are a donkey. There's a donkey that's helping assist in the pulling of his cart. That they were sort of watching over. The formerly or the deceased drow were watching over, and it has stopped because no one is telling it to go, so it's just sitting there. Alara is petting it.
Mm-hmm.
Can she talk to animals?
Let's see what spell she doesn't. She says, no, I can do other things, but not that.
Do we know of any, Alara, would you happen to know of any merchants that would have been allied with the King of Clubs? Or does he have some sort of operation in the city?
She thinks about it for a bit, and she says, he's one of those gang leaders that runs right all right. I thought he didn't deal in drugs.
Was.
Oh, was?
Yeah. His
Oh.
was some of those brains you prestidigitated off my maul there.
Yeah, she definitely gets it. Which is, well, he from what I remember from reading, he didn't usually do drugs. That was spades.
What was on the bottle?
No, it was clubs. It was clubs.
Oh.
I think I did mention that Clubs was attempting to expand his enterprises and his influence by stepping on other people's turfs, other kings and queens' turfs. That's what got him killed. So he had.
So we don't even. Sorry, I had just assumed that it must be allied with Noras somehow, but
Yeah, Clubs definitely was. The King of Clubs that you killed definitely
Right.
was.
Yeah,
He's
definitely.
dead, but somehow his product is here.
Well,
Maybe he must have set his head of time at some point, or perhaps his lowers in command are taking over his operations.
perhaps. It just seems like if there was a new upstart, the other people would have had them dealt with pretty quick.
Can we tell if it was bottled before or after we killed him?
That would. You definitely would need a criminal background, maybe, and probably proficiency in alchemist supplies for that. You need both of those to see.
Yeah, that ain't me.
Can I look along, like, would I have seen, like, the kind of, like, road they were going down?
Yeah. So, what do you want to know about it?
I would like to know if there are any, like, permanent-looking carts or storefronts that would have, like, sight of the street, and if there's anyone who's, like, behind them manning them.
Okay. So looking down this road, you see it's not the sort of main road that cuts through the city, but it is a side street that's sort of off of the main road. It's close towards the exit of the Undercity, back towards the upper parts where the dwarves live. It looks like that maybe they came from there. They came from the docks, transporting this stuff. This side street has other, branches that it branches off to. But what you can see now is the main sort of building on here is the dwarven guard tower, which you guys are next to, but is behind you. Looking down the street, you just see normal domestic homes. You don't see any large structures or anything like that.
This might be crazy. I might be getting ahead of myself, but Slizik's done these kind of, smuggling ops before, I'd assume. I would probably have some people, watching out for any, authorities or anything. Do I see anyone on, rooftops watching us, or anyone watching us at all through windows or anything?
Give me a perception check. Oh, a 16 is very good, but you don't see anyone watching you.
Why are you rolling at disadvantage, just out of curiosity?
I don't know.
He probably forgot to change it. I mean,
Yeah,
he doesn't need anything. I'm just taking the first roll. He doesn't need. He has like a -3. No, his perception roll is 0 because he's proficient in perception.
Yeah.
But without it, he'd have a -3.
My sweet lizard eyes. Okay.
What a
Let's see. You think that probably, you have the criminal background, and based on everything Alaire has told you, Slizik, that's probably due to, and what you've seen as well. The dwarves don't really, if the drow aren't stabbing a dwarf, the dwarves generally don't care what the drow are doing, so long as they, keep to themselves and don't bother dwarves.
Right.
So they're probably using that, sort of, that factor to transport these goods undetected and unseen.
Okay.
I want to go up to one of these kind of stalls, on the side of the road, and it's one with somebody manning it.
All right. It is mostly domestic stuff here, but there are some people selling some stuff out of their homes. It's mostly stuff they've created themselves, like maybe a bracelet, or knickknacks, or things like that.
I approach one of them. Say, you there.
Don't kill me!
Oh, there's no need for that. Just answer all of our questions, and there's going to be no problem with everything all sorted out for you. So,
He says
have you
Alaire
ever
has
seen-
walked up with you, and he says something to her in a language you don't understand, and she responds back. But then she nods to you to continue.
Have you ever seen these two people or this cart before?
Well, the two people are carried away because they don't want, because of how thoroughly you destroyed them. They were carried away by the guards. So he doesn't have a face to look at, but he'll say, he will say without getting a really good look at their faces or where their faces, without getting a good look at their faces or where their faces should have been, it'd be kind of hard for me to identify them.
That cart, that donkey, has any of that been familiar to you? Is there any regularity that you see it?
He thinks for a moment, says, now that you mention it, it's like two times a week that donkey comes by. I only remembered because having a beast of burden is rare here.
Any idea where they're headed?
Well, they go down to the end of the street and they turn right.
How often do you see a beast of burden? Just out of curiosity.
Well, generally people with the more successful businesses here, people that have maybe trade deals with some of the sailors or merchant ships that come in. People with larger operations can afford them. They are not rare, but they are uncommon, I would say. It's enough, especially on a street like ours. We're a minor side street, so seeing a donkey or another beast of burden on our street is that in itself is quite rare, though, but not unheard of.
Okay. Let's see here. Any nobility coming through here? Coming through here lately?
He looks at you and says something again in the language you're not familiar with. And Alera responds back. And he says, and he switches back to common and says, no, nothing like that. They don't, nobility don't, come. He's like choosing his words carefully, it looks like. He's like, the nobility don't come down here.
I have a passive insight of 16. Does that... Do I get any sense that he's kind of lying about that?
Give me an insight roll.
Okay.
Yeah. So it looks like, yeah, 24 is really good. It looks like he's telling the truth. That stutter in his speech is, for common, was from him choosing his words so as to not offend you if you were nobility. You think he probably, he might not, based on how everyone has been treating you so far and what you've seen, there's not a lot of non-drow or non-dwarves, especially in this portion of the city. So seeing those creatures, he might not know what a dragonborn noble person looks like. So he's trying to choose his words as to not offend you if you are.
Let's see here. Okay. Well, thank you so much then.
Well, we
Anyone
have
else
our
got
lead.
anything?
Speaking,
I
notice.
have an idea.
Someone else is speaking underneath him with their kind of a lower volume. I'm missing anyone that wants me to ask any further questions or?
Oh yeah, I was going to approach and ask them, overhearing, of course. Dear friend, tell me, would you say that what is right? Say they make a right turn. What would be in that general
Oh, he says, well, that's he thinks about some more. That's the strange part. There shouldn't be anything out past that way. I didn't really pay it much mind before you mentioned it, but there's not really. That's sort of the portion of the city where we don't really use that much. I mean, the dwarves don't really repair any of the buildings down here, and we lack the tools to do so. So some of the portions of the Undercity have fallen into disrepair and ruin, and that is one of the condemned districts where it's dangerous to live in. So there shouldn't, as you mentioned, there shouldn't be really any reason for them to be down there.
reason? Forgive me.
Well, you're cutting in and out there, Don.
Oh, well, I was just quipping about that being maybe all the reason in the world. Disempowered to that aspect. Home must have. Yeah. That was it. No further questions.
Well, I plan to continue this line of reasoning alongside this road. Let's just keep asking these shop owners where they've seen this cart and where they're not. They have an idea where it might be going.
You see one other, like sort of, because this is a mostly residential area, but you see one other sort of stall set out in front of the store, in front of someone's home. It looks to be run by an old drow woman. Everyone else is in their homes, and if you approach, they will say they don't want to speak to you because, you know, they did just witness you kill 2 drow in their street. They don't have doors to block you, but they will not answer if you call out at their door.
And there's one that's just like not caring.
Yeah, this was one elderly woman, who's in front. She's selling mostly like crafted stuff out of stone, like maybe small stone figurines that like will fit in the palm of your hand.
All right, well, I'll stroll myself right on over.
Alara will also once again go with you. Does anyone else want to come up and ask this woman some questions?
Yeah, I'll join him.
All right. Alara will once again say something. You've heard it the second time now. Everyone who was asking asking the man the questions. This looks like a greeting because she bows as she says it. Even though you can't understand the language, the body language indicates that it's like a hello, sort of.
Can I try and memorize it?
Yeah, give me an intelligence check.
Oh, actually, I'm decent at those.
Yeah, you think you'll be able to repeat it to someone else, that phrase.
Sweet. Yeah, let's go up to this lady.
She says, and then the old woman begins, because Alara is the one that addressed her initially, she begins speaking in the language you don't understand, which is, in parentheses, undercommon. But Alara interrupts her and asks her to switch to common, and she does so. And she says, "Oh, I understand you have some questions for me."
You don't seem quite as intimidated as the rest around here. Why is that?
Perception check.
Okay.
Actually, this isn't a perception check. She's blind. You can see that. This close to her, you can see she's blind, is why.
Oh, just kidding.
And she
that.
chuckles when you say that. She says, "No, I didn't. I didn't take offense. It's you don't know who I am, and you're not from around here, so you couldn't be expected to know. What? Any friend of Alara's is a friend of mine. Such a nice girl. But yes, how can I help you?"
Well, sorry, go for it.
We were wondering how much you knew about any sort of criminal enterprise, whether or not perhaps you've heard a donkey and cart wheel its way on down with any sort of regularity, and whether or not you could tell us where they might be going.
Oh, well. She thinks for a bit, and she says, "Well, today is, and for all, it's to keep things, easy. It's 7-day week, 24-hour, day night, that sort of thing. So whatever this world's fantasy equivalent of a Thursday is, actually let's go with Friday. Whatever fantasy equivalent of Friday is, that's what she says. What day it is? She says, "Well, it's Friday, so that's when they usually come. A donkey comes by, it brays a couple of times. That's how I am able to hear it. It smells too."
Do you have any idea where they might be going? Any warehouses or manors, estates, anyone wealthy along either down this road to the right? Or anywhere else?
She says, "Oh, well, you're not from around here, but no one lives down the road to the right. It's condemned. It was condemned when I was a small girl. A building. People complained for years about the state of the buildings, and finally, someone's roof collapsed and killed half the family."
Some asbestos.
How long ago was that?
She thinks. drow live for a long time because they're elves, so she'll say like, "Oh, it was probably 400 years ago."
Okay.
Bit of a slump. We have reason to believe that it might be connected to some criminal enterprises, perhaps. Do you know where we could perhaps go to find some less savory types and ask them some questions?
Well, I've been an upstanding citizen my whole life, but I suppose you could check out the docks if you want. There,
It's always the dogs.
I hear tell that there's some unruly sailors that come in every
that's our
now
idea.
and then.
I'm just gonna give a look at Slizzy.
Yeah, I'm so excited. Thank you.
As far as I mean, no. If you're asking if I'm part of one with knowing, I've never really part. They're certainly around here, as in all
Give me it straight, Granny.
as in all places. There are some who will resort to crime in order to get by, but I don't know of any people who are caught up in such things in particular.
Well, that's fine. You've given us plenty in that regard. Anyone else have any questions?
Well, that's all I can think of.
I think we head down to the docks and start cracking some heads.
You have a nice day now.
Yeah, sorry.
Take
Anyway.
care of Alara.
Forgot you were
I
here.
don't. Well, let's talk about it when we make it outside.
Yeah, have a good one. We walk out.
As Walker said, like, are we sure that cracking heads is necessarily what we wish to be doing?
I mean, it's my go-to plan. If anyone else has anything else,
You do
We
what
could
you
go.
gotta do.
I don't think we're
The
going
event
to.
that we should.
you can't beat the classics, folks.
It may end up happening. Just be prepared for it. That's certainly not
Always.
going to. But if we run into the right people, I mean, all we did was trying to stop this cart here, and we were attacked. So it seems to be pretty normal around here.
Well, if the event that trouble should visit us in any form, I think it's appropriate. Take a moment inspire ourselves and conjure up the necessary spirits to overcome this any potential. Before we head to the docks, I'd take 10 minutes to inspiring leader, possible. Give people some 10 hit
Oh,
points.
give me that.
So what form does it take? Because of your religious background, is this a sermon?
Yes. You're asking if I have a 10-minute long sermon? I don't just yet.
I know. I'm gonna say for role playing purposes. Daksh begins to launch into this sermon about.
We just met this guy.
Yeah. You guys are, you do feel inspired by his words, but he's launching into this sermon about.
What kind of sermon are we talking? Is it like a fire and brimstone?
No, it's about peace and love and forgiveness and redemption.
No. This
I
is
hate it.
yeah. It is about mercy, and that mercy visiting us in the course of extinguishing any ill will to our quest.
It just kind of shake my head for a second. It's just, she's heard this before.
He's kind of a pompous fella, so he's just hamming it up.
I
I
surreptitiously
really would have had something.
I surreptitiously motioned to Aja to hand me her water skin.
I'll hand it over, but not before I take a big
Yeah.
drink from it myself.
But does anyone want to ritually cast a spell during this time while he's doing this?
No, but I will take it. I will ask Lisa, can I see that water skin as well when you're done?
There you go.
No.
No.
Come on.
Starts drinking as well.
It's hospitality.
I'm going to hit us with a pass without trace.
All right.
Okay. All right, so you guys are sneak.
Let's head to the docks.
At the end of
I
the 10 minutes.
suppose.
You guys do feel inspired, so you got is 10 temporary HP, which lasts until you take a long rest, or it's knocked out of you by an enemy. Or the ground, or whatever else hits you.
Sure.
And the above.
Excellent. I'd still say our best lead is to head to the docks. And by best, I mean only.
I agree that at least it's the best way to head to the docks, but I think
I mean, you could also investigate this condemned area as well.
That's
I was thinking we could just go to this place that she was talking about. I could also cast detect magic and be able to sense if there's any funny business about.
It's worth a shot.
All right.
Let's head to this condemned area.
Everyone try your best to slip into the shadows as much as you can.
Alara is marveling at your use of this spell because it's like sound is deadened. You can still speak, but it's to a lesser extent. And she's marveling at this fact because she's like shouting, but it comes out as just a little more than a whisper. And you can obviously tell she's shouting because of how she's animated. But yeah, the rest
Yes, very useful.
of you.
here's what I'm thinking. If we do want to at least try and talk to them, I think we should at least attempt to talk with them, but go under some false pretenses. At least try to.
I think we're gonna first off check this. Was it condemned area?
Yes.
Did she say why?
Yes,
Why it was
it was the dwarves. Based on what you learned so far, the dwarves don't really, like I said, they don't a laissez-faire policy. They built Undercity. The drow can't expect any more from them, so they don't do maintenance or repairs or anything like that. The drow themselves, because they don't like the drow possessing weapons, they limit their use of metal tools, so they don't really have the tools necessary to repair buildings as well. So, after 5,000 years, buildings begin to deteriorate, and it so happens that one of these buildings in this area fell down. The roof collapsed and killed half of a family, and so they condemned the whole area because of that.
So just so I'm clear, we're gonna go to this condemned area first, and we're gonna kind of root around a little bit. If that fails, we'll head to the docks. Does that sound about right?
That sounds good to me.
Is Pass Without Trace and Detect Magic, are they both concentration?
Detect magic, yeah, they both are.
So you could only have one of those up.
Yeah, I'm only doing pass without trace for now until we get to the ruins themselves.
Okay.
I suppose I'll try and stealth my way there, but I'm a big boy.
Well, you do have a plus 10 to your stealth rolls. So, and you should...
Surprisingly stealthy.
Yeah, so long as you're wearing the mithril armor, if you granted to you by Stormhaven, you don't have disadvantage on a stealth roll.
We're all rolling stealth, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
If you're trying to be stealthy, yes.
I'm fucking gone.
Yeah, that is, for someone so large,
Yeah.
you're surprisingly quiet. Yeah, everyone did really good with the plus 10. Yeah. Let's see
Plus 12. Jesus.
Let's see what Alara gets. Stealth. She only got plus 2. Oh, well.
Oof.
Yes.
All right, 15.
Well, 15 is still good. So you don't seem... So you sort of get towards the end of the road and you turn right, like the people said, and you can the road continues a little way before you begin to see these sort of run-down buildings. And true to what the drow you talked to told you, they're crumbling. You see, like, the side of one is just completely fallen down and sort of left the interior exposed, and you can look inside there, and see that there's nothing really inside. Looks like whoever lived there long since cleared out. And you don't see any activity around here. You don't feel any stares or glares. It looks to be like the drought told you, completely abandoned, at least to where you currently are, and from what you can see.
I might be reaching here, so tell me if I am. But as a criminal individual, I'm probably kind of associated with stuff like bolt houses and false fronts and shit like that. Am I able to recognize anything that might signify that one of these abandoned places is actually in use?
You need to get a little bit closer to begin looking around, but you can definitely try.
I will try.
So you guys walk into this abandoned section of the city, or at least Slizik does it. I'm assuming everyone else is joining them. Let me know if you're not. And you get to another crossroads, and then you guys begin sort of looking around. Give me a perception check, Slizik.
Okay.
And Alistair. Just based on your passive perception, this whole area smells. Now that
I'm
you're
getting so lucky.
you are. Now that you're in it deep, so to speak. This whole area, there's that lingering, very faint smell of fury in the air. But you'd need to actively roll for perception to sort of follow your nose.
I wanna follow my nose, and I wanna look for any kind of secretive doorways
All right.
or trapdoors or something like that.
All right.
Was that perception?
Yes.
Is the ground pure rock, or is there like a dusty layer?
The ground
that
is
might look-
the ground is dirt, and so it's hard to tell. Like stuff like that. It's well packed, so it's hard to tell sort of like tracks and stuff like that. Maybe a survival check will allow you to to glean more info from that if you want to do that as well. With an 8, you don't discern any noticeable tracks. So 14 isn't good enough. It's close, but it's not good enough. So I'll let you give another roll later on, but for right now, you just the smell is ever present, and so you can't sort of pinpoint where exactly it's coming from.
What about that big 18?
Yeah, 18, 17 is good enough to see. A little ways in the distance, you see a building which has, and you're not super knowledgeable about stonework because you're not dwarves, so you don't have like a blacksmithing background, or you're not proficient with blacksmithing tools, but it looks like, or stoneworking tools, but it looks like that one of the buildings here has a recent, or I should say more recent addition to it that seems curious. That is not, it doesn't, the stone-wise, it matches, but it looks to be not as well, it's not as aged as the rest of everything else. And you only see it because you're properly investigating these buildings. It's not visible from the main road, but you're sort of going in alleyways and looking around, being very quiet as you do so, of course, with your stealth checks. But then that's when you see it.
Something's wrong here.
What's that?
It looks to be kind of like, so I'll draw it for you with my beautiful drawing skills, what you guys see. Freehand. So basically you guys are in a back alleyway. And it's like this. And there are buildings, like say these are the buildings in it. One of the buildings has something like this on its back. That sort of juts into the alleyway that's newer, fresher stonework.
Could I feel along that stonework and see if I could feel like something like give or I feel like something like a switch or a click, something that happens like that.
Give me an investigation.
While he's doing that, I'll just say, or she rather, something is wrong here. There's some of this is newer than the rest. It's clearly still in use.
So you're looking around for any hidden levers or buttons or anything you can press, but it looks to be properly sort of attached to the building. You can find no seams or anything like that that would indicate there's a secret passageway or something of the like here.
A wind or something that would indicate.
You do, placing your hand against the stone, you do feel like you're doing, I'm assuming you're doing like hollow checks and stuff too, which is hard to do against stone, but you do feel like that there's something inside of this outcropping. It's not solid stone attached to the building. It's meant to conceal something that's inside of it.
Slizik, how strong are you?
Does this answer your question? I just flex as hard as I possibly can.
Skadoosh! Hey, show that to break stone.
Absolutely, I am.
Then I tell Slizik where the
We're going to use Wall of Stone stats for this?
I already see where this is going. I'm going to just give Slizik a nice guidance.
All right, here you go. Let's hope this turns out okay.
All right, so what's the I'm looking at wall, so it should have the HP. The wall is an object made of stone that can be damaged and does breached. Each panel has an AC of 15 and 30 hit points per inch of thickness. You think it's about maybe 4 inches thick, 4 to 6 inches thick.
4 inches. Oh.
How does a wall have 15 AC?
That's what it says for Wall of Stone, my dude. I'm just taking right from there.
Okay. Apparently I can't. Well, I mean, I can try. Which I certainly will, because Slizik is a confident, if nothing else, he is a confident dragonborn. I mean, I'll just try and maul it.
Yeah. Of course, doing so, some of you with the higher intellects would realize that doing so...
Well, okay.
No, you can go ahead and do it, but some of you realize that doing so, hammering on the side of this building, may alert people, whoever is inside, that there are people nearby and break your stealth.
Do it, Slizik.
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
I just draw my sword at this point, which you see these runes on it.
All right.
Glow.
Ooh.
All right.
I'm gonna do up major. I'm doing major.
And I'm just gonna go ahead and just activate a rite of storm.
So let's say you need to get through, just for purposes, let's say it's 100 HP worth of armor. I mean, if you get above a 10, I'm going to reduce it to 10 because you have been guidanced. And it's a wall, it's not going to move. So,
Yeah.
if someone actually used Wall of Stone, we'll use the stats in there, but for this...
No!
Critical miss is a critical miss. Even if you roll the AC, a critical miss is still a critical miss on attack rolls. You're just not feeling it today.
I'm swinging at a table nearby.
You could see anything, but you can't hit it.
Wait, are you raging?
No.
He's not raging.
Here's the idea. Why don't you just recklessly attack it?
I didn't say I did. I should have, but...
I mean,
Hit this wall.
I mean,
So maybe he misjudges the thickness of it, but when he hits it, it sort of just bounces off and doesn't deal any damage.
Oh, just sort of a test run there.
So if it was still in the sphere of Pass Without Trace, is it quieted?
It is quieted, but they would still feel you hammering on. If they're inside, the house would still shake and things would start, happening inside to indicate someone smashing part of the wall in.
All right, round 2. I'm going to swing recklessly.
Well, hold on. Before you do that, wait 1 second. Can I look at this door and see if there's any sort of like magical component?
There is a doorway that's right next to it leading out to the alley that you guys have not tried, but you decide to just bamf this wall instead. But sure, yes, you look at this door. Give me. You're trying to magically discern a trap. Give me an Arcana check if you're not used to detect magic. There's a magical trap on this door.
Hot
Hold on.
damn.
There's a magical trap.
It's not on the outcropping here. It's on the entryway. So there's a door right here.
It's on the incropping.
All right, well, that's poor drawings. It'd be like this to indicate a door.
On the inside.
Yeah. So if you try to open this door incorrectly, maybe without a password or a key, something bad's going to happen.
It's swing away, I suppose.
Yeah, strange. Of course, strange for an abandoned place to have a magical trap placed on it.
You run.
Did anyone else before Alice? I mean, before Slizik just goes to town on this wall. Does anyone else have anything they want to do?
I said I have Ride the Storm active. So.
All right.
I got my mage armor. Let's see here.
I'm just gonna step a little ways back.
Yeah, give that 10 to 15 feet back just in case something explodes.
I was gonna. Here's something. Noticing that Alistair's about to go for the store, I gesture to him and I'm like, might I give this a try? As I walk back the full 30-foot distance to use Mage Hand.
All right. Do you want to back up from the door? Because Slizik only put you guys on the map like in this amazing drawing. So Aja said she's backed up, but everyone else has said they're like around here while Slizik is going to town on this.
I'm backing away if he appears to be trying the mage hand.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I'll back up. I'm gonna use that.
All right. I'm assuming anyone else is backing up and you're using Mage Hand.
Fingers.
All right. So you begin to turn the door. Those with the high passive perception, let's say above 15, will hear as soon as you open the door, there's a click. And there's a click, and then the door explodes outward in an explosion of fire, and slams against the back alley. And there's there's a loud noise and explosion. So it looks like indeed that the wall was triggered with a magical trap, but it looks like none of you were too far away to be caught up in the blast. But there is now an entry into this building.
I'm gonna activate Armor of Agathis. And I guess I'll
Become
go
a toasty one.
Yeah. I'll just head in through the now exposed opening, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I'll head in too.
Yeah, inside this place looks abandoned. There's no sign of furniture. There's no sign of anyone living here like that. One thing you do notice, give me a perception check for those that are inside.
Perception.
10 is not. 10 is enough, because this isn't hard to see. A 5 is not, though. This is suspiciously... the first floor, at least, is a 2-story building. The first floor, you haven't seen the second one, you haven't been up there. Suspiciously clean of all dust. There's no dust here as far as you can see. Not something you would expect in a building that's been abandoned for 400 years.
Do I hear movement? Or voices?
You don't.
Hmm.
Because I just
I'm just gonna...
What's along the wall on the other side of the rock base?
I'm glad you asked. There's a stairway there leading up to the second floor.
I'm going up.
I'm following.
I'll follow as well.
So this does...
Yep.
The second floor is similarly appears to be abandoned as far as furniture goes. This one, though, is caked in dust. You don't see any footprints or anything like that. It looks like the dust here is thick. You'll cough a bit as you sort of breathe it in. But yeah, it looks like there's not a lot to this. You can always look around, but and see what's up. But it looks like this place is well and truly been devoid of any sort of human presence for a while, or elf presence. My nose is itchy.
Well, I sadly put my maul away. Is anything left behind? Like, is there any debris or anything that could, indicate what was going on here?
There are some holes in the ceiling that are letting in some light, if we're on the second floor still. And that's how you can sort of see the dust, see everything from here. Because there's not really a light source for those without dark vision. That's how you see the dust motes and floating in the air, and stuff like that. Like these rays and shafts of light that are illuminating the area.
Now, I could cast Detect Magic, but it would take me 10 minutes.
It might be worth it. We don't have anything else to go on.
All right.
Start pulling out my chalks and start drawing a little ritual circle there on the stone.
I'll just poke around as he does that.
I'm just gonna drink.
All right. Guys, go back down to the first floor, or do you stay up here in a second?
Think stay up here?
Yeah, I'll just stand on the.
All right.
On the,
You guys, I'm assuming maybe you guys, I don't know if anyone can carry brooms, but you sort of make a place for you guys to sit down that's not caked in dust, and just prop up for 10 minutes while Alistair casts his spell. Give me a perception check. Those who are not concentrating on casting a spell.
Shit.
17 is good. 17, in fact, is what you need.
Oh no.
Oh, your hawk is here. I'm sure your hawk is loving just hawking. Harold is just loving inhaling all this dust.
You ever heard a hawk sneeze? It's adorable.
Yeah, there are some sneezes in Costner, you guys. So, 17, Aja, it's very faint. But now that you're in here, you hear a humming coming from the walls, and every so often you hear like a thump coming from below you.
Have I heard anything like that before? Anything to indicate what that is?
Yeah, I'm trying to think based on your background or what you've encountered so far. What you've encountered in the story so far, no. Based on your background, also probably not. If you're more familiar with machinery or something like that, then yes. But as far as I remember, you're from Odessa and you're from a minor mage family there, so probably not a lot of machinery or things like that in your background.
I have that book that I started with, the book on like ancient works. Would that apply at all?
In this case, no, because it's something new.
Okay.
It's metagaming a little bit, but you know. For those of you watching the stream later, my nose is really itchy for some reason, and so I'm like playing with it a lot. I don't know why it is. Okay. So you wait 10 minutes? Anyone else? So Aja hears this, mentions this to you guys, but that's it. Your detect magic goes off. Detect magic is does give you 30 feet, but it is blocked by certain thickness of material.
Mhm. Also, the pass without trace would be.
Yes, that would be now. Once your detect magic goes up, pass without trace will be gone. I think pass without trace lasts an hour, right? It hasn't been that long.
That's right. Well, pass without trace.
Is it an hour? Is it 10 minutes? An hour?
It is. Oh, yeah, it is 1 hour.
All right.
So whatever it is, if it's more than 1 foot of stone, I can't detect it. But we have everything else.
All right. So
There's always the option of making that foot of stone less than a foot of stone.
that can also work as well. But once the spell goes off and you're sort of focusing, you didn't notice it well, actually no, you didn't have detect magic up, so you wouldn't have noticed this. You found the trap via Arcana check. You get a very, very faint magic signature from below you. In fact, it's almost directly below you.
This is on the first floor?
You think it's even below that.
There may be something in a basement of sorts. I got the hint of something.
Did we see any stairs leading down?
You did not.
Probably a trap door.
Let's begin our search. Take a look.
Start looking around.
Alright, you guys head back downstairs. Give me an investigation check.
Okay. I'm gonna try one of those eyes.
Oh, Lord.
There's a 30. Get it, though?
That's what expertise and investigation in a wizard gets you.
Oh, no.
Erlen, you're still sneezing from all of the dust, so you can't really, see anything.
Well, no, never mind. Never mind.
I'll give it. I mean, does even though you got this, you got it good.
Yeah, 30 is amazing. Best roll. It looks like you're looking around, using your detect magic to help you, and you think in the sort of the shadow of the stairwell, in like what you probably would be like a storage area or something. You see that there is a very cleverly concealed trapdoor, and it's almost perfectly sort of hidden in the floor tile, but you see it, and you also think you have found the trigger for it or how to open it.
Did you find something?
Yeah, this is a little mechanism right here, cleverly disguised.
There's no trap on this one. Your detect magic would pick that up. So if there's a trap, it's maybe mechanical in nature.
I will take out my eyes of minute seeing and try and inspect it for any kind of mechanical trappings.
All right.
So that one's an advantage.
Yeah, investigation again.
I'm I whip out what appears to be a little monocle and just get real right up on it, within 10 inches of this thing, and just kind of looking it over.
Yes. So to investigate for a trap, you'll need to peek it open a little bit, but not so much as to trigger the trap. And looking inside, it's very dim lighting, but there's still enough light here for you to see that there is a hidden trap here. What looks to be like a crossbow pointed out, and it looks to be loaded and ready to fire, attached to sort of a tripwire, and that crossbow bolt looks to be coated in some sort of dark liquid, poison perhaps.
All right, you got
related.
the classic poison dart trap.
How very fun.
Do you attempt to disarm it? I mean, you can just, now that you know it's here and you know the direction the crossbow is facing, you can always just open it up and let it fire.
So yeah, hey, Aja, do you happen to have your tools on you?
Yeah, thieves' tools, a roll with the thieves' tools could make quick work of this trap.
Do you mind?
I think for safety, I'm gonna employ my mage hand with that.
Yes, you can. Arcane Trickster Mage Hand, definitely do it.
I will stay where I am, but I will try and help her, by pointing out what she needs to do to avoid triggering it.
All right, yeah. So with the help, you have advantage on the roll for thieves roll with thieves tools. Yes, that is enough to you find the sort of ends of the wire where it's attached, and you're able to sort of unattach them without the bolt firing. And yes, it looks like you have disarmed this trap.
Well done.
You guys, so you see now that sort of a ladder descending into the basement. It is pitch black down there, by the way, though.
Oh dear.
Duck.
Do I have anything that can help me?
Are those with dark vision able to see into it?
Yes. So I think Doc is the only one that has dark vision.
That's a good question.
Everyone else is a human or a dragonborn, so you're the only one with dark vision. The humming is louder, Aja.
Well, Joe, we would lose our element of surprise insofar as we had it still with the knock knock.
I tried my best.
I mean, there already was an explosion.
Yes, sure. I'll go ahead and I'll cast light on Harold. He's a bright bird.
With the pass without a trace, the explosion is probably more of like a bomb.
Yeah, they might have felt it if they were paying attention, but they didn't hear it.
I don't think we have the pass without a trace anymore.
Yeah. You don't anymore, but I'm saying when you blew open the door.
Well, when the explosion happened.
Right.
Okay, would I be able to sneak a peek? Just kind of look in there without being detected?
Yeah.
Stealth for that?
If you want to stealth down there and look, Alara can also go with you because she also has dark vision. But she's not the great on stealth, as in she has a +2, I think.
Yeah, same as me. See, how much would I be able to see just kind of peering from the top, or am I just looking?
So peering from the top, you see a sort of a you're looking down into it, and let me show you. You see that there's a turn in the door, so you can see down the ladder. Let me see. I don't want to go directly to the map yet, but you'll see. I'm trying to get here. Let me get rid of my drawing that you guys, you get the gist of. So you see this. You see the ladder is. Oh, that's not it. You see the ladder is right here. This is not to scale. And you are right here with everyone else, so you're looking down it, and then there is a pathway that leads this way, but then there's a turn. It probably opens up into a larger room. But you can definitely see down this way, and you don't see. It's dirt floors, unadorned. You don't see any signs of life or movement. It's just pitch black in here. You do begin to hear this deep, like humming sound, like I don't know if Discord's picking that up, but it's like
Didgeridoo.
I am going to put my hand over on Slizik's shoulder, and I am going to see through the eyes of Harold and send him up a little bit ahead.
all right. Harold, as soon as he crosses into the main room,
Oh,
you hear something that sounds like what Alara was speaking in the same dialect. And then Harold goes out. There is...
Okay, all right. I'm gonna. I guess I'll cast light on Slizik's Maul instead.
yes.
And yep, they're in there. They're in there. Definitely something not good.
Are we cracking heads?
Yes,
I'm going down.
I wanna put myself at the front if I can.
All right. Well, we can... Yeah, let me... I'll tell you guys what you see then. Once you get down here. We'll move to the screen yet. I'll have everyone roll for initiative, too, because this is going to be...
Okay.
Oh, hello.
In the middle, wherever the middle
So
would be,
these 6
that's
spaces are where you guys will start. So if you want to rearrange where you're at, I put the casters in the back because, you know, but if you want to be in the front, you can.
Be in the front.
cool.
Oh, let me get the tracker up. Yeah. So roll again. I'm sorry. We'll use your first one, the 11, if you're not on there.
Okay.
Audrey does have advantage, so she has 14.
Sworn I got a bonus to initiative. That might be later on, though.
It's when you have a hit of rush is why.
No, I thought barbarians. I'll double. Might just be something later on.
Let me see.
So I'm missing doc sheet. You did roll, but you didn't click on your token beforehand, so it didn't show up on the tracker.
All right, so let me.
Yeah, and we use.
Okay.
For some reason, it didn't again. Let me try again. So if you click on your token first, you should have permission to edit it. Let me make sure. Yeah.
Oh, next level I get advantage on initiative.
Okay, so I'll try again for you, and we'll use the 11, which is the first roll. There it is.
Okay.
All right.
Also, just real fast on the 10 hit points, showing 40. If it was 10, wouldn't it be 48? Just speaking.
I think you just add, because it's still adding on to. There are a lot of ways to track it, but I think you just put 10 there, because that temporary hit points box only tracks the temp HP. I think.
Okay.
Big 5, baby.
All right. And then I'll roll for Alara. Also here.
How many temp HP did we get?
10.
Should have gotten 10.
Cool.
I'll add it to
Oh,
her.
shit,
She will need that too because she is very frail. She's only 5th level, so she's a little below all of you guys.
my armor of Agathis would still be up too, right?
Yes.
Sweet.
So you got some. Temp HP doesn't stack though. It's the highest one.
Oh, it doesn't?
I don't believe it
Ah,
does.
shit.
Now
That's
you
alright.
can say I think your 2nd level armor at Agathis. I think that already gives you 10 though. HP.
Well, it gives me 10, yeah.
Yeah, so you're good. You can just keep the armor at Agathis effects on still.
You look colder.
Yeah, I look red as fuck.
No, you can still keep the effects up if you want to, not
Oh,
listen
yeah,
to
I
his sermon and keep the effects of your spell up. Yeah. Okay, so for her,
Yeah, I'll pretend to have listened.
she rolled better than Slizik. Okay. And she is. Yes, let's do it like this then. 2. And then for the enemies, you see a drow woman in the back. And there's some maybe drow fighters wielding wicked-looking blades and hand crossbows as well. And then against the wall, there's this curious set of like copper or metal tubes or piping that's leading up the wall there, and stacked in front of it against the wall is these bottles and bottles and bottles and bottles of fury, stacked up against these walls here. So it looks like you found something. There's also some other machinery in here as well. The piping and the humming and the occasional clang or thud are coming from these machines. And now for the enemies. Closing back up some of these tabs. I got a lot of tabs, guys. I'm sorry. Okay,
It's all good.
here we go. Oh, Lord.
Mm.
Alright. The Drow Mage is first to go. She points a finger at all of you and says something in Undercommon. And as... Let's see what she's going to do here. She is going to go up to... She is going to web that area that you're all in. Or attempt to. She doesn't want. She's a caster. She doesn't want you getting. She doesn't want you getting close. 20-foot cube, which will be 4-sided.
Is it dex save?
Yeah. Starts its turn or enters them. Must make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
She's gonna place it like here, because she wants her boys to be able to hit you. And that's her turn.
Oof.
And then Drow Warrior 2 is going to come up right here and attempt to swing on some people.
It's not very nice.
Well, yeah, you guys found their illegal operation. They're going to be stabbing you. So he's going to go in for... There's 3 targets, but only 2. He's going to go for Erlen and Alistair, and he's going to go for a short sword against each of you.
Wow.
Okay.
First one is Erlen, next is Alistair. 24 to hit Erlen.
That will hit Bible Hellish Rebuke.
Alright. So, DC, okay.
Ignore the duel.
Yeah, the 2's just for dueling. You can uncheck or check that as you please. So he'll make a dexterity save as well. So he's going to quickly stab you, and he's also going to try to stab Alistair. 14 to hit Alistair, which is going to be a miss.
Yeah.
So 24 to hit deals 9 piercing damage, and as he retracts the blade, you feel wherever he stabbed you begins to seize up, and you feel like you also sustain some poison damage. So you sustain 9 piercing and 7 poison damage, and he'll make his dex save. I'll attempt to. He rolled a 10 though, so he takes that full damage.
Yep.
Now it is Alistair's turn. I will need a dexterity saving throw from you, good sir. Ho ho! With aplomb!
Hot damn.
You have cast this spell before. You know its tricks. You're like the spider who knows which strands of the web aren't sticky, and you just almost like bamf out. You're like you do like the showman leap forward, and
I stare right at her. I say, amateurish.
Yeah.
Okay, I will. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and let's see who we have here. What do we got to work with? I think yes. I think yes. That is what I shall do. I'm going to throw a fireball.
all
I'm
right.
going to throw this fireball right here at the edge of this table as to get both the Drow Mage and Drow Warrior 3.
Because she's a squishy mage, she is going to counterspell said fireball.
Counterspell the counterspell.
Oh! So that does get through though. Then, because there's not another mage on their team to do it. And so you're
not even a die roll.
Yeah, third level spell is it counterspell automatically does third level or lower. It's only for fourth or higher when you need to roll. So this small little flicker of flame comes out, and it briefly gets super dim and almost is to the point of being snuffed out. But then with your other hand, you make your counter spell, and it flares back into life, travels to in between Drow Mage 3 and Drow Mage. Drow Warrior 3 and Drow Mage, and explodes in between them. And let me just put something else.
Should have paid attention in class.
All the machinery that is like right here,
27.
against the walls. All the machinery is there against the walls, so you can't really traverse in those spaces. Ooh, 27 big damage.
Ooh.
Oh, it's dexterity saving throw, right? Dex save on them.
Oh, Did we ever determine if this stuff was flammable?
Right.
That's why. Luckily, you put it in between them, so the machinery is like against these walls, and let's say,
Jeez.
like right here. So I'm sorry. Let me do a. Your web is that big square next to you. The smaller rectangles are where the machinery is.
That could have been bad.
So you can place it outside of them if you want.
Yes.
But yes, this stuff is... A lot of stuff is flammable. But yeah, so they'll hit dex stays for them. Ooh, she got a 14, so no good on her. And he got also a 14. Man, they both failed.
Yes.
Which is surprising because his dex is really good.
So are the blue blocks, are those, we can still walk in those spaces, right?
This one that I'm moving, you can walk in this space. This is the restraining web. The rest you can't walk there. It's like machinery. These are right here is the piping.
Okay.
The one immediately next to you is the piping because that's where you came down there.
Okay.
And then this is where all the fury is being held, right here on the side, and down here is a larger machine as well. But you're unclear of what the purpose of that is.
I am going to try and so I'm not restrained by the web.
You are not.
So
You can
still-
move out. If
Still
next
doesn't-
turn, there's a potential if you don't move out to be restrained by it. Oh, also Constitution save for her.
Is it a difficult terrain?
Yes, but let me see. The damage might have caused her to drop the web because it's concentration, right? Yes, web's concentration. Okay, so it's half. It's 10 or half, whichever is higher. So it's 13. A DC 13 con save. She gets an 8. What is with these rolls?
Amazing.
What is with these rolls? All right, the web drops.
Showing up completely.
She shouts out in frustration in Undercommon. You want to move somewhere. my good
Yeah,
sir.
I'm gonna move around here, and then. Okay, so that
Moving
means-
further away from Drow Warrior 2, like, as long as you're within 5 feet of him, but moving further away will provoke an opportunity attack.
I am going to risk it. I want to move here, just so that there's sort of just like one way to get at me. So I'll eat that opportunity attack.
Alright, yes, he will definitely take it as retribution for getting burned by magical hellfire.
Well, he didn't, but
Yeah.
buddy, this
16 to hit.
doesn't do it.
Man, just dinks off your breastplate.
My beautiful
Off his
abs.
abs, yeah.
Yeah. He says also something under common, and Alara says, "How rude!" in common. Erlen, it is your turn.
Venom.
Hello.
Are
Hello.
they gone?
Yeah.
Captain.
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry, I didn't realize my mic was muted. Seeing as how he tapped me with some poison, I'm going to use one of my blood curses.
Oh,
Use the blood
jeez.
curse of the marked, and I'm going to amplify it just in case, since I don't know what he's resistant to. So if he had resistance against lightning damage, he has no resistance now.
Okay.
I'm going to attack twice.
It's extra. It's 2d4 then on the extra damage then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's double. It's double Kunzurite damage, so I would just assume it would be a D4 doubled.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can roll 2d4, whatever you want to do.
Okay.
All right.
Alright. So that is going to be 6.
So 2 is from your 2 is from your 2 is from your dueling.
from my-
So we'll add another 4 to that, so it'll be 10 extra like damage. 2 is from dueling.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
And you're only using it in one hand. You're not two-handed. That's the second damage. Is 2 right
No.
there. Okay, so it's 6 plus 10, so 16 damage in the first hit. And that looks like it just barely got past his guard.
Jeez. Okay. That just barely got past. Oh, okay. I'm going to attack again then. Actually, wait, that is doubled, so, and I rolled a 4, so that's 16 points of damage.
Yes, I did.
He's marked.
Yep.
Okay, cool. So, second one. 16
That
hit.
doesn't though. He parries it
Oh.
with his
Oh,
short
goodness.
sword.
Alright, and that is the end of my turn.
You can move as well if you want.
No, I do not want to move.
Okay, you're good right there. Aja.
Alright, I'm gonna get out of here with a bonus action disengage.
All
I think
right.
you're free.
Yeah, you don't have to.
Unless
Well,
it's
right
just-
now right now there's no one next to you. But if you want to just run
Oh.
past him with a bonus action disengage, you can. Yeah.
But wouldn't his
Also, his opportunity attack is used up, so you can just run past him.
Oh, okay.
His reaction, I should say, is used up. So you can go wherever 30 feet will take you.
And then I'm going to aim at him and shoot.
Which one is him?
Oh, sorry, the one I passed. Two.
Okay. And you'll get sneak attack, and you can use your bonus action to shoot again. Do you want to sharpshooter it?
Sure.
Can on the first roll, sure. Roll the second roll, you can if you want. That's a -5 to potential +10 to damage. So that will miss though. The second one will miss, but the first one dealt 18 damage to him. He is definitely well past bloodied now.
Oh, jeez.
The second one flies wide and sticks him back in the wall where you just came from. I think that's everything.
That's the turn.
All right. Drow Warrior 3 sees that you are a threat and is going to come up to here and try to cut you down. He's going to attack twice with his trusty short sword. Actually, no, he's going to attack you once with a short sword, and then with his other hand, aim his hand crossbow at Alistair and attempt to shoot him. 18 to hit you, Aja.
That hits.
Alright, that is 9 piercing and 10 poison.
Okay.
And then the hand crossbow. Man, Alistair has the luck of the gods on his side. A 9 to hit, plus 7 to hit, and he rolled a 9. What?
I thought I was like, I thought this was bigger than, I guess it is. The big old thing of coal. Is it not block vision or anything?
No. For purposes of the story, the things here that will block stuff is what is outlined there, and then the table and those barrels. Everything else is like fair game for like lines of sight and stuff.
What's this blue outline along the edge?
That's all the
Is that
machinery and the bottles of fury. That's his turn. His shot goes wide, and it hits the metal piping and clangs off of it and spins off into sort of the darkness. Daksh.
Is that me then?
That's you.
Okay. Can I, from where I'm situated, am I able to see the Drow Mage?
No. If you go here or here, though, probably here, you'll be able to see her without provoking up. Well, actually, you can just walk by this Drow 2 warrior because he's already used up his reaction. But you need to go at least here to see her because there is a wall here. Like this wall is preventing.
Yeah, I was thinking that. Alright. I was thinking that what I can do is I could just situate myself, yeah. I'm gonna prop up right about here.
Yeah, and you can see that there's another one. No one else could see him, but you can now see that there's another guy hidden right there.
Okay. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to cast a Toll the Dead, but I'm gonna twin it for 1 sorcery point to hit the Drow Mage and the fella behind me that took damage, so that they can get the 2d12 each as they've already taken damage.
All right.
And yeah.
And
As
because
a bonus action, I was going to cast Spiritual Weapon. Go ahead.
okay, yes, because I feel because of Jesse's pain in our other Thursday game that I play in, I allow my players to choose which damage they want from Toll the Dead. Like, if they're not damaged, you have to take the D8 or whatever it is, but if they are damaged, you can choose whichever one's higher for your damage rolls.
Yeah, low-level necromancer is not very fun.
So, yeah, they will roll the wisdom save, right?
Believe so.
I think, well, the Drow Priestess did save. And the Drow Elite Warrior next to you did not, though. I think you can just click on Toll the Dead and it should populate it in the chat.
Yeah.
Is it not doing so? Because it's not popping up for me.
1 sec.
There it goes.
Alright, how's that look?
Yes. So I'm assuming you want the 11 instead of the 9.
Yes.
Alright. So the Drow Mage laughs off your Toll the Dead, but the other one the Drow Warrior clutches his head as he hears the bells tolling for him. He looks close to death, but still up.
Alright. And with that, I was gonna cast Spiritual Weapon, and I was gonna set that. Let's see. set that next to. I think it'd be a maximal advantage if I set. So, nah, I'll set it. Yeah, I was gonna cast right next at that.
Okay, yeah, you should be able to make a drawing if you want to that you can move. Just do that.
Sure thing. It will not be extravagant, so bear.
That's fine. It doesn't have to be.
We'll go with this little.
We have very
Snap.
high standards here.
As you can see, we have very high standards. Yeah, that'll work. So you make an attack roll against her.
Certain.
I think it's a magical attack, whatever your melee magic attack is.
Melee.
It should be all in there. If you drag and dropped it from spiritual weapon in roll
Yeah.
20, it should all be there.
What did it appear
It's
as
not
again?
showing.
I'm sorry, what?
What? Oh, what the weapon appear?
Yeah.
We'll go with a nice scimitar.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm clicking this. It's not a.
It might ask you for what level you want to cast it at. There might be a smaller box saying what level do you want to cast this at. Because you can upcast it for more damage if you want.
I guess I'll film the dragon. I will go with. I'll cast it as a third level.
Alright. Should be an extra die roll, I believe.
So let me. Try to do this. Alright. Does that hit?
Let me see. 18 does hit her. Yeah, does hit. As a, unfortunately, the second wasn't great, but it's still up. You can keep on doing it for every bonus action. So 7 damage to her. She's now bloody as well.
Alright. And you said this fellow next to me didn't have opportunity, right?
No, it's not been his return yet to refresh it, so he's out of reactions.
I'm gonna dip back.
All right.
I'm gonna dip back.
Drow
Thank you.
Warrior 1 is going to come around here. Don't feel left out. Alistair and Slizik. Because he's going to come. He'll probably come right here to attack you guys.
Get at me.
Because he can't really go through his person who's also engaged with you. So he's going to
Yeah,
attack
yeah.
you, both of you. He's going to still shoot you, Alistair, because you're a threat with his offhand. But he's going to try to stab Slizik as well.
Fucking get at me.
Short sword. 24 to hit.
Sure.
8 piercing and 10 poison.
Oof.
And then same thing offhand, he'll try to shoot at Alistair. Oh my god, another 9 to hit. What? He has the luck of the gods on his side tonight. It is unreal.
Try me.
Just bouncing off his armor, missing him, being
The best
being
investment.
directed around him. God.
Heck, perfectly deflect missiles.
He curses in Undercommon. Alera is coming up, and she's breathing deeply, and she's rubbing her hands together, and she says, okay, I got this. And she touches the shoulder of both Alarian and Slizik, and she says something to Undercommon. But when she casts it, and cast it she does, time seems to slow down
Oh boy.
for both of you. She has twinned haste on both of you.
Oh yes.
On
On Erlin and on Slizik.
oh
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Okay.
She just turned me into like a nuclear missile.
So I'm gonna give you. There's like speed boot. There's speed boots somewhere in here with like wings on them. I'm trying to give you if I can find it. No wings. There we go. Let's give you that. And she says, "I'm just gonna be back around the corner. Go get them, guys." She hides back here because she doesn't want to lose concentration.
I thought she was gonna like disappear off the map or something.
No, she's just gonna try to hide so she doesn't lose concentration. But that's her turn. Slizik, I'm gonna put you guys should see what haste does. +2 to AC, advantage on dexterity throws. You get additional action on each of your turns. So you can make 3 weapon attacks, Slizik. I'm assuming you want a bonus action rage.
Would it be 4 because I'm taking an attack action? And when I get an attack action, I can attack twice?
It says only 1 weapon attack in the spell.
Oh, okay. Excellent. I laugh. An evil laugh. And yeah, I'm going to go ahead and rage as a bonus action. And you guys see this kind of aura around me. It's kind of like if you ever played Diablo 2, like the Blessed Hammers or whatever paladins get. Only it's just lightning energy.
Yeah, you guys begin to the scent of fury has been replaced by the scent of ozone in the air as the air becomes electrified down here.
Just this swirling electric energy mixed with my frosty armor. God damn, I'm rad. I'm gonna go ahead and yeah. Oh, by the way, one of those guys takes some damage.
Yeah, I forgot to do that. Armor of Agathis. I was just thinking about that. It was the one that just hit you.
10 cold damage because it's level 2.
Alright, yeah, so he will take it. The one that hits you will take that.
Don't think there's a save right now.
No, it just happens when they hit you.
Oh.
But your temp HP is now gone, though, so you'll be taking
Yeah, I took
normal damage.
So which one of these guys is looking...
2 is looking the most hurt.
I just grin an evil grin, and I pull out my maul, and I'm just going to swing at him. I'm going to do it recklessly. I'm not going to use great weapon, though.
Alright.
Yeah, so 2 strikes. Fuck.
A 21 does hit.
Alright.
So he is... You think if you hit him one more time, he will die.
There should be +2 damage to that as well.
Okay, yeah. Still with that, he's like waving. He's like listing on his feet.
Can I zap him with
Unsteady. Yes, you can.
Where's that here? He has to make a save, I believe.
Okay. If he fails this, he will die. If he succeeds, he will live. That's how
Come
well.
on.
Okay, so let's see. He got a critical fail. What?
Yes!
Oh.
Okay, so what happens is you hit him once. He desperately parries it with his short sword, but you come back again. He's not expecting it. It slaps him to the side, and as he's spinning around, you kick him away from you, and the lightning is sort of arcs out from your foot with explosive blast and knocks him back, and he falls down dead.
See you later, guy.
A charred, smoking corpse.
Oh man, barbarians are great. Okay, I'm gonna attack the next guy beside me, number 2 here. With my... This will be my third attack.
You cannot shock him, but you'll still be able to hit him.
Yeah. Actually, 5, 10.
You can also move. Your movement speed is doubled.
I'm gonna move here, and I'm gonna use lightning lure.
Now you cannot do that.
Can't I?
Oh yes, you can. You can. You can with your extra action. You can.
Okay. Then I will use lightning lure on Drow Warrior 3. Can I pull him right here?
Yes, you can pull him here or here, anywhere you want to that's close to you. You won't pull him here, but he can be here or here if he fails on the save. What save is that, good sir?
Should I do that? Oh, I'm scared. I'll do it. Fuck it.
And this will not provoke an opportunity attack for Aja because he's moving out of his own will away from her.
Right. I don't think rage applies to this, but...
No, it doesn't. So it's a strength save. Not good at strength.
That's what I'm banking on.
But he critically succeeded, though.
Fuck!
So he takes a step in your direction, but then like catches himself.
Does he? Let's see, I think he just passes. He doesn't take any.
Yeah, for
damage.
cantrips, it's pass fail. Everything or nothing.
Shit. Okay. That is my turn, I think. I'm still just laughing. This
All
is a
right.
good time.
She is going to point her finger at Erlin and Daksh, and you see some lightning begin to crackle on her fingertip. She's going to cast Lightning Bolt. I need dex saves from Daksh and Erlin. Erlin, you have advantage, I believe, with haste.
Okay. Yes, I do, because it's a deck save. So 19.
That makes it. And 8 does not.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to roll 8d6.
This might hurt. Yeah.
Oh, that's gonna hurt.
That's big damage.
That's pretty painful.
Now, Erlin takes half.
That takes
And-
out my last temp HP, so.
And you did have a temp HP, Daksh, so that will help you.
I did.
So you don't anymore. So you take 23 true damage to your HP, actually.
So what does 33 half? That's
Rounds down, so 16.
16. Okay. Ow.
Yeah, to say the least.
But that's her. She smiles like she just pulled one over you.
Are we allowed to talk tactics out of character?
If it's like, you can say like attack that one or something like that, but otherwise you'll need to wait for your turn.
Can I ask, should I attack the mage and just go after her? Is that allowed?
Yeah. You can
I mean, should
you
I-
can say like out of turn you can just say like the mage.
Should I just, like, go all for the mage?
I'll say focus her down.
Yeah, okay. If you guys can handle these warriors, I can fuck her up. I have a lot of speed, too.
Drow 2 is dead. Rip. So we'll move him from it.
Yeah.
It is now Alistair's turn.
I am going to just pop over here a little bit to get a better angle
Hey, buddy.
on said mage.
Hey, watch this.
And I'm
I
going
watch.
to cast Scorching Ray on the Drow mage.
She will shield this if it will help her.
She will what?
She will use the shield spell.
Bitch.
You blew her up already. She doesn't want to get burned any more than she already has been.
Would I be able to...
You can still attack roll her, but you can also counterspell her shield if you want. If you still have a third level spell
I
left.
can't. I gotta... I don't have it. That one fireball counterspell combo wiped me out.
Okay.
in terms of-
So you can't counterspell this, but you can try to beat her AC with shield.
Can I... Would I be able to redirect them at all? Or
Yeah,
or
if you-
do
if
that,
you-
or-
Once you declare she's the... You see you have 3 bolts, but once you declare she's the target of one of the 3, you can't redirect it. It's not like magic missile that hits automatically. Well, shield would even block that. Shield blocks magic missile as well.
Okay. So just all 3 on her.
Okay. She'll do shield anyway, but you'll need to beat a... You'll need to be a 20. That's what her AC is now with shield.
Ooh, okay. Ha!
Oh, yeah.
Baby!
You are the luck of the draw. Man, she is barely alive now.
The hell.
That's good shit.
Only
Wow, that was-
only one hits her, but that one like breaks past her shield and it hits her in the shoulder, and she like does a turn, lands on her knees, but manages to reform her shield before the other 2 hit her. But there's like a smoking crater in her shoulder now where the scorching ray hit her, and she's
You're
wincing
right,
with
that was-
pain.
That was pretty rad.
All right. Well, I suppose it's time to finish her up.
I will just...
Bonus action. It has to be a cantrip though.
Yeah, no bonus action cantrips for me. I guess I'll pop over just. Well, no. I'll go back over here into the corner.
Okay, Alistair, suffice to
Alistair's
say,
special.
all the drow now are looking at you with murderous intent. You have pulled a heck of a ton of aggro, both you and Slizik, so they're probably going to focus you two now.
I put up my duke.
That's fine. Yeah.
So just consider that. Erlen, it is now your turn. You have 60 feet of movement,
Jesus.
which should be enough to go anywhere you want to.
Is Mike muted
You
again?
might be muted. Hello.
Apologies for that. This is my mother. Gonna go move up to the Drow Warrior, and I'm gonna take 2 swipes.
All right. Is your super special right still active, or just your normal one?
Yeah, it's still active.
Okay.
Yeah, it's still active for me. It's active until I take a short rest. So.
Okay. I meant your double damage, right?
Oh no, that one. No, that one.
Okay, that's
died
like one turn. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, it died when the Drow died. So, when the first Drow died.
All right. Yeah. So 26 definitely gets past his guard, cleaves into his stud leather armor. For 8 damage.
Yep. And.
That also gets by for 9.
For 9 damage.
Yeah, the now with you, both you and Slizik, the ozone is like super heavy in the air now. It's like it's all over the place. Any bonus action you want to take, or more places you want to move? Actually, no. You have one more attack. You have one more attack with haste.
Oh, I do have one more. Okay. Let's see if I can finish him off.
Well, this is the one that's been hit the least, so you might bloody him, but sadly you miss.
Dang. Alright, that was a good roll, too. Oh, well. Alright, that's the end of my turn.
All right, Aja.
How does Drow 3 work? What?
Drow 3 is hurt, but
Snipe the mage.
he has still some fighting spirit left. The mage looks hurt the most, but she does have shield up. You can see the faint glimmer of it protecting her.
Alright, I'm going to aim for 3.
20 hits. You don't get sneak, but 9 damage does hit him full on the face, point blank range. And she has crossbow expert. 13 does miss though.
Legolas. She just stabs him with the arrow.
I know that second one misses.
Yes, that definitely does miss. Do you want to move anywhere? You will provoke opportunity attacks because you don't have your bonus action disengage.
I will stay here.
All right. He's already turning to engage Slizik and Alistair. He will provoke an opportunity attack from you, but he is clearly of the mind to engage these two as soon as possible, and so he moves here. So that's when you shoot him in the back once with your attack, and you can make another opportunity attack as well. That goes wide though. And he'll make 2 short attacks, one against Slizik and one against Alistair. Don't be a chump. Actually hit Alistair for once. He's so lucky. There needs to be some sort of danger involved, and you're just reckless spellcasting explosions. Okay, Slizik is a 15 to hit. Probably not enough.
That misses, yeah.
Alright. Then on return, he will hit Alistair.
For flavor to say he stabs me, I just don't feel it.
Yeah, it like your scales catch it, and you just look down and smile at him.
I'm just
and
in a rage.
he goes to swing at Alistair, but gets a 14.
Hey.
God,
Oh, you hate to see it.
man, these guys are like,
on that one.
these guys are challenging like 7, but they turn out to be chumps because they don't hit anyone.
Yeah, because we're fucking rad, Nathan.
Doc,
We're just the best.
it's your turn.
Okay, so in order to see her, the mage.
No, you can see her now. Clear line of sight to her.
She's direct.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do another twinned Toll the Dead. So that's just for the 1 key point, and I'm gonna go for her. And how is Drow Warrior 3 look? Oh, is he looking bloodied? Or
Drow Warrior 3 is bloodied now.
Okay. And how about, is that 1? I think Slizzik's covering him. He's too big. Can't see it.
1 is surrounded. I'll move 2 off the board because 2 is dead. But 1 and 3 are the ones still alive. 1 is not yet bloodied
as well? Or
No.
But has he taken damage?
Yes, he's taken damage. Everyone still on the board has taken damage. All enemies on the board.
Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna aim it twinned at Drow Warrior 1 and the mage.
All
that's
right.
for Toll Dead, so
And you also have your spiritual weapon. So just put
Yes, I was
put Toll Dead in chat and I'll roll for
Okay.
them. Okay, so I'm assuming you want the 10. So we're gonna roll
Yes.
Wisdom save for the Elite Warrior. He got a 10, so he fails.
Ooh.
He begins to hear bells that only he can hear and begins to clutch his head. She is better on the Wisdom save, so we'll see what she gets. She gets a 21, so she will succeed on that.
Dang it.
But you still have spiritual
Alright.
weapon.
Well, for my trouble, I'm gonna get her a spiritual weapon. Let's try that out.
Yep. Now she does have shield up, so we'll need to hit a 20 to hit her.
Now, here's a question. I cast it at 3, so does that mean does it mean I have to recast it at 3?
No,
to do the damage?
it's up until you dismiss it. It's also not concentration. You can cast it again just to roll for damage, but it's at 3rd level. It's 2d8 plus your spellcasting modifier. Oh my god, that kills her.
Yup.
So she's holding out her like her hands are spread, held aloft, maintaining this barrier, and she gives a smirk as she sees your scimitar come up, thinking she's gonna block it, but it just cuts clean through and bisects her right along the prime meridian,
Laugh at that. When.
and she is dead.
And yeah.
G fucking G.
So what I will do with that, if it attacks, are you able to move it? That's the question.
What does it say in the wording? I can look it up. I know it has 20 feet of movement.
Spiritual weapon?
I think it doesn't take movement. Let me check.
Yeah. You can move the weapon up to 20 feet. So yes, it still has its movement. As long as you're less than 20, you can still move it. You have moved it, I believe, 1, 2, 3, 4. You actually moved it 20.
Yeah, you can move it 20, so that's 30 feet, so when...
Yeah. You've already moved it this turn, though, so you'd have to wait till next turn to move it.
Yeah, fair enough. So with that, for my hide, I think I'm gonna
Go back up the stairs with Alara.
back. Yeah, toward the right there.
Oh, hello, how you doing?
Well,
I can't heal, I'm sorry.
it's like, mage, a little worse for wear though.
Alright, Drow Warrior 1 is still alive. Desperately swinging after the leader has been cut down. Gonna attack Erlin and Slizzik. Boom, boom. Erlin first. 25 to hit.
Oh, yeah, that's gonna hit.
5 piercing and 10 poison.
Okay.
And Slizzik, 26 to hit.
Yeah.
9 piercing and 8 poison, and you have the
So
piercing
4.
damage. Yeah, 4 and 8, 12. Yeah, even with your extra ACs, that would still hit you. But that's his
Yeah,
turn.
for sure.
Alara's going to peek around the corner. And she's going to point at Drow Warrior 1. And she's going to cast Ray of Frost.
Get him.
But a 14 misses. And she goes, sorry. Just goes back up. And now it's Slizik's turn.
Oh, would you look at the time? It's clobbering time. I'm going to go ahead and... which one is looking weaker? I'm assuming number
They're
3.
both about the same. They're both in that bloodied state.
Okay, well, seeing Erlen's condition, I'll try and... Actually... No, I won't do that. I'll just try and bonk him. I'm going to do Reckless on all of these, but no Great Weapon, because I'll probably miss.
Are you attacking... You're splitting, or are you attacking, focusing on one?
I'll do all on this guy.
Alright, all on one. Boy, it's like a beat a 17.
Yeah. Alright, let's do it. I'm going to, Reckless, but no Great Weapon.
Alright.
Oh, baby!
God!
Oh,
It's just...
Get the camera!
It's just brutal. It's just brutal. Okay. Yeah, you cave in his chest. It's like swing batter, like Babe Ruth style.
Yeah, baby.
You're hit. Actually, more like Sammy Sosa because you're hopped up on, rage. You just go in for the swing and you just knock him clear out of the fucking park.
Woo! That's the ball game.
He slams against that back wall.
Does that just the first attack kill him? Or?
No, that's all of them combined to kill him.
Okay, excellent. Then I will zap this guy as a free action.
Yep. He needs to save, deck save.
Yes.
He did roll a 20, so I'll take half.
Can I do anything with a bonus action? I don't think so. Yeah, that's my turn. This is Slizik's, this is his vacation.
I'll remind you, you have Thunderous Smite due to your weapon that you could have been casting.
I don't... Did we end up agreeing whether it would take up a bonus action?
It does. So your first action will have to rage. Every turn after that, though, for your bonus action, you can use it to cast Thunderous Smite.
Alrighty. I just turned slowly to Drow 3. Covered in his friend's blood.
He has nowhere to go, though. He knows he fucked up, but he can't leave. There's like 20 people in his way.
Can I intimidate him as a free action?
It would be an action. It would have to be on your turn and not as an action, though.
Then just for flavor.
Yeah. Someone else can try to.
Just for flavor, I'll say, you really want to continue this fight?
He responds back in Undercommon.
Yeah, right.
Angrily. Alistair.
All right. Let's see this fellow. I am just going to... He's right up next to me, so I can't... I don't know about any range stuff. So maybe I will... I'm going to eat another attack opportunity. Why not? I would say, go ahead, try it.
Alright, he is going to try. Please! He's too cocky. I want him to get hit at least once. Just once is all I ask. Okay, good. Thank God. 23 to hit.
Okay, that'll do it.
5 piercing and 6 poison.
Oh, that just barely gets through my chest.
Yeah.
So like a little...
You got one. You got a little prick of a little ripple of blood coming out of his arm.
Oh, that's something. All right.
It's like a paper cut. God.
We should capture this one alive, perhaps.
I am going to cast suggestion on him, and the suggestion will be to cooperate with us and answer all of our questions truthfully.
All right. So you're in combat with him, so I believe that makes something happen. Right? If he's actively fighting you, let me see.
I don't.
It's not for that one. Certain spells do, but not for this one. Yes, but he is an elf though, so he has Fey ancestry, so he'll have advantage on this.
Okay.
Would he have disadvantage because we just fucked his friends up real good?
I want to alchemical cast this, and I want to change it to a intelligence.
Ho ho ho! I see. He's okay. Here we go.
Would he, by any chance, be scared right now?
You took away he has a wisdom bonus of +4. You took that away, so it's a flat roll now by changing it to intelligence.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So he did get an 18 on the roll though.
Okay. Yeah, that'll beat it.
But he's looking scared. Like he doesn't want to be here.
Sure does.
I don't want to be here anymore.
But you have a bonus action still, I believe.
Yeah, I'm just gonna
Just glower menacingly.
dip away over here.
Yeah, that is a wall there, so you can get behind it if you want. If you have enough movement.
I do not.
Alright. Yeah, I'll put that on the board too. Let's see if I can just draw a line. Yeah. Alright. Erlen. Wounded, but still very much alive.
I'm okay. Yep. And I'm gonna just move 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm just gonna. You see, just this violet energy gather in her claw, and she casts Eldritch Blast.
Alright.
2 beams.
So, because you have an extra action, you can... 4 beams? Is that right?
Oh, Jesus.
I don't think.
Let me see what haste does.
It says it has to be an attack. I think it has to be an attack with a weapon.
Let me read what... I would put haste back up. Yeah, let me read. Yeah, attack, 1 weapon attack only. So, yeah. So you can only do the 2 beams from your normal Eldritch Blast. You can go get closer and hit him if you want. One time.
No.
Alright.
Let's not do that.
But yeah, so 2 beams coming at him. Oh my god.
Oh, my.
That doesn't kill him, but he is hurt.
Well, that's 1.
Very hurt. These crits are insane. That just hits his AC.
And then takes another 6, I think.
Yeah, he's knocking on death's door.
Doofa. Keep him alive.
I think you could just tie him up at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to do non-lethal damage, you'll have to hit him with a melee weapon. You can't do magic to deal non-lethal unless you're doing like sleep or something.
I'm saying that to everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good to know.
So I mean, if you suggest him, you should say lie down and take a nap for an hour, then that'll work too. But you can't hit him with a damaging magic attack and say non-lethal.
Good to know.
All right. A bonus action you want to do, Erlen?
End of my turn.
All right, Aja.
If we're trying to keep him alive, I'm just going to hold off.
All right. Now you do have some other things you can do. You have some spells at your disposal. You have some. He is an elf, so give me an intelligence roll, if you want. Intelligence check, free of charge. It's looking for a 12 or higher on that one. Yeah, that's fine.
My.
These saves are these crits are insane. Since he's an elf, he probably has something called Fey ancestry. It's a racial ability where they have advantage. They are better at resisting being charmed, and they can't be put to sleep by magic. So if you're trying to subdue him that way, that probably won't work.
How injured does he look?
He is well past being bloodied. If I had, I usually don't do this, but he's the last bad guy. If I had to estimate his health, he's got about a fourth of it left. Looks like he's 25% of what he once was.
So people of Fey ancestry, are they susceptible to hideous laughter?
They would. They would be, yes. If it doesn't say on there anything about being charmed, then it'll go through perfectly fine. I'm looking at the spell just in case. Yeah, it doesn't say anything about being charmed. A wisdom saving throw or fall prone, becoming incapacitated and unable to stand for the duration. And if he's super dumb, it doesn't affect him, but he's a sentient creature, so he has an intelligence score above 4. Alright. Are you casting hideous laughter on him?
Yeah, I don't know to what end I'm doing it, but sure, I'll do it.
Alright. He's going to try a save, the wisdom save. He got a 6! So he finds everything for some... He had this look of terror on his face, and then he begins to chuckle, and it starts off as like a nervous laughter, like ha 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 ha, but then it just becomes full out, like outright just blown hilarious laughter. Like he's slapping his knee, he's crying, he's ruffling on the ground, and he is incapacitated.
Excellent.
So, essentially, we can be out of combat now if you want to be. If no one has any more plans to murder this poor fool, then yes, you can be out of combat.
I'm gonna cast suggestion on him again.
Alright. He can still make this save, of course, because it's being charmed. You can always just tie him up as well. It's also a possibility.
We could also do a Bob situation where I snap his kneecaps.
Yeah. Oh, poor Bob. Yeah. You can do a number of things. This guy's basically... Everyone gets one go at him before he can make a save again. So you can be out of combat, like I said, if you want, or you can try to do something to further incapacitate him as well.
Yeah, I'm just gonna hit him with that. This one looks like it's gonna have to be... you know what? I'm gonna cast. Shit. No, it's wasteful. Yeah, I'm just gonna do the suggestion again. With the wisdom this time.
All right. He got a 21.
But
he's still laughing because no, I don't think so. In between the laughter.
all right. Well, let's just.
Recaps it is.
Yeah, he made a choice.
Alara says she can hold him if you want, but she'll have to drop the haste and then take a breather.
Oh, if you do that, then everyone else will have to take a breather as well. Or these two.
Well, didn't he fall over last
Oh, no, wait,
time?
yeah, that's right. That's right. She doesn't take the breather. Slizik and Erlen will take the breather. That's right, because it's not on her.
I would definitely want to take a breather if that is possible.
I mean, like, you won't be able to move for a while because you've been... Yeah.
I just lean up against the barrel for a second.
It's still active. Okay.
I will do so.
Alara, once he's tied up, and I'm assuming you like gag him or something, then Alara will drop the spell. She will warn Slizik and Erlen beforehand that you're gonna feel very tired for a little bit, but it'll pass.
Oh boy.
And as soon as you finish tying him up, it's when she drops the spell.
Oh god.
And you guys have to sit down for a bit.
I want to check his coat or everything for like some kind of like small knives or like cyanide.
Oh yes, it's full on Joker in him. You see 4 daggers, some, you see that sharp you see something on his wrist. Looks like maybe that, and you take that off too. It looks to be kind of like the hidden blade from Assassin's Creed, but it's a very long, thin blade attached to it instead. That's retractable.
Found a murder weapon.
We've almost certainly done this already, but just so there's no bullshit, I take his weapon. So like,
Yeah. You disarmed him. You take away his hand crossbow, his short sword. He has 2 short swords, a hand crossbow, say 6 knives, and that assassination tool on him.
So can we? Like, is this consistent with the wounds that we saw? Did we see
Yes.
any wounds?
This blade, this wrist contraption is definitely something that can be used to, like, definitely the blade on it correlates to the wounds that you saw on the Drow family.
Well, I'm glad we went with the the fuck them up option. Seems to be kind of our go-to.
Works really well. We're
Yeah, gotta say.
Alara does say if you want to interrogate him, I speak Undercommon.
Do they just not know common at all?
They might, but they might say things in Undercommon. Like they were being very rude during combat to you, Slizik and Alistair.
Sure were.
Like they called Alistair a pardon. They used an idiom meaning very, very large.
I'm going to I'm gonna tap his kneecaps with my maul so that when he wakes up, I'm like taking practice swings at his knees.
Like getting ready with like a batter in baseball, just getting ready.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man.
Oh, I'm so happy I'm in this position again.
So do you sit him down in the chair or just leave him on the floor?
I mean, he's hogtied, I imagine,
Yeah.
so he's probably on the floor. Actually, can I check if the mage has anything on her?
Yes, you can. She has 100 gold on her person.
Oh! God, she has 50 gold on her.
As far as magical items or spell books or things of that like, it doesn't look to be the case.
Not anything like
Come on.
Any sort of-
identifying
Any sort
information.
of notes or anything on here?
Exactly.
You don't see that anywhere on her. But there's probably a very covert op, so they wouldn't have had, they're being incognito. They wouldn't have anything to identify them as such. But you do have a prisoner you can interrogate.
Sure do. Oh, goodness gracious, what a gift this is. I go back to my practice.
Yeah, so does anyone want to wake him up
Yeah,
and begin the interrogation? All right. So,
Recap style.
yeah. So, does anyone want to take a lead, or you just want to take turns questioning him?
Is he awake now?
I know I'm good. I get some interrogation.
Yeah, this will probably be because of the way Slizik is acting. Any rolls will be intimidate, and you have advantage because he's helping you.
I mean, we could do a good cop, bad cop thing where they persuade.
Yeah. You can, but initially it's going to be definitely intimidate.
Sure.
Oh,
Well, I guess-
You just brutally killed his 3 people he was with, and almost killed him. He's not in the right.
Easily, I would
Yeah.
say.
He's
I'm gonna give guidance to Slizzy.
Oh, good morning there.
I'll be good. Piggyback.
He's speaking in Undercommon. He wakes up and says, he begins just ranting in Undercommon.
In common, please. And can I snap one of his fingers?
Yeah.
If you don't mind.
He cries out in pain and says, "Filthy lizard!" It's very broken. His comment's very broken.
I've been called worse by better people.
Not any way to talk to him.
Yeah, not quite the way to talk to a man
He
with
says-
a maul at your kneecaps.
Kill me and be done with it.
I mean, that's on the agenda. Kind of lower down, though. For now, we just need information.
He spits.
Well, that's not very nice. Another finger.
Gah!
Oh, this is a good time.
Slissick, he's already on
Friend.
death's door. I don't think that
There,
putting him in more pain is going to.
Oh, that was just for me. If anyone has questions,
friend,
though,
there are things worse. Friend, there are things worse than death that can visit. Please cooperate and tell us everything you know about the shipment was coming, about your operations. Please. Does that intimidate?
Yeah, this will be intimidate.
is this with advantage? Or
Yes, this was
anything?
advantage. Yes, okay, 21 is good. So he says, something along the lines of, I'm surprised outsiders who don't know anything found this place. Supposed to poison drow with gas, make them rise up against dwarves.
Oh,
He says, use machine to do so.
I'll look at the machine. Is it just all fury, pretty much?
So there's fury. How good are you with alchemical supplies? Do you have a background in that?
Not even
Okay.
a little bit good.
You do see the fury stacked up against the wall here next to you. There's this machine on the back. It's very large. You're unsure of that. But there are these pipes, kind of like organ pipes, maybe even a chimney sort of scenario, on this side, and they're leading up. And they're probably what was inside of that outcropping that jutted into the alleyway. It was what was hiding these metal pipes. Probably a means of dispersing this gas into the city. It looks like that was, you see like empty sort of bottles of around this piping too to support your theory and what he said.
I'm gonna kind of leave it for my allies because I feel like the softer touch might be more appropriate here, and that's not Slissick's way.
Does anyone else have any questions for him?
Oh, the
How
machine.
exactly does this machine work?
He says, how would he? I'm trying to see how he would phrase it with his broken common. He'd say, "Put bottles in machine there," you give me another intimidation roll as well before he reveals more information.
Oh, me?
Whoever is, yeah, someone can. It can be Doc still asking the questions. You can ask him to ask the captive that.
Yeah. So another intimidation.
Yes.
Still
Advantage.
with advantage.
Yes.
Dang.
All right. That is just good enough. 15 is the DC for this. And so he says, put gas bottles in a machine there. Indicates with his chin the one at the far end. Wait until done. Then put in metal pipe.
Metal pipe. See,
So there's things behind him. These things right
Tell
here.
me this.
I'll draw a circle.
Who's your supplier?
This is going to be a higher intimidation check. Because this is something he really doesn't want to give, let you know, but you can roll.
I'll throw guidance on
Erlen?
Daksh. Or Erlen, whoever's asking him.
I'll follow.
So this is advantage in D4, right?
Yeah.
Yes. That is
Oh,
not good. He does not. He shakes his head. He does not answer.
And I'll follow that up with a persuasion.
Just tell him, Slizik, he doesn't seem to want to tell us his supply. Could you make...
If Slizik breaks another portion of this poor creature's body, then you can roll again for intimidation.
But hold on.
I'll go ahead.
Before you do, I want to cast command, and the command word will be confess.
Okay. So he will take it to mean he's already confessed a lot to you. So he will try to save against it. It's a wisdom save, right?
Yeah.
Alright. It's not charmed.
Yep.
He got a 22, though.
Ah,
Damn it.
Can we say disadvantage?
We can say because of the situation he's in and the stress he's in, he'll have a disadvantage. He'll roll again.
Because he's in immense pain right now. Still.
Yeah.
he's in a rough
He rolled a
spot.
9, so he fails on the second roll.
Excellent.
So he says, it's only 6 seconds worth of revealing information, so he'll say, something along the lines of, used to get it from Clubman from City of Sin. Shipments less now that he dead, though.
Who is the mastermind behind this operation?
Are there any questions anyone else wants to ask him?
Yeah, that one. Do they have any?
Before this one.
Oh, I
I
see.
was going to ask who built the machine.
To that he will say he does not know.
Is he ignoring me? Because I'm gonna snap his fucking.
No.
fingers.
There's a story reason why I'm saying. Does anyone else want to ask any other questions?
Are there any more secret locations like this throughout the city?
Intimidation.
I'm gonna press his pinky back as I ask this.
All right, yeah, intimidation advantage, of course. Oh yeah. He says, was planning on building more, but less gas, so can't.
So this is the only one.
Yes.
Good.
So you said that his sword is consistent with that injury we saw in the family.
He has like a hidden blade from Assassin's Creed, except it's a very long and thin one. As opposed to like just a smaller knife. Like in Assassin's Creed, if you're not familiar, the blade is more like this, but very small to be able to fit between where your ring finger goes. The one he's using or used is more like this. Almost like a long, thin needle, but made of metal.
So
It wasn't meant to be a penis.
Everything's a penis with me in here.
So if I take that away from him and hold it within an inch of his eye, I'm going to say,
Oof.
did you use this on anyone recently?
He smiles and says, he uses a strange word here. It doesn't translate into common. He says it in undercommon because there might not be an analogous one in or that he knows, because it looks to be common is not his, he's not super good at it. So he says, used it on some stupid, I'm just gonna make a word, Baksha family here that figured out what we were doing.
What's the translation on that, Alara?
She says, it's like, it's a it is,
Prostitute.
no, it's like it's like a traitor, or a blasphemer.
I see. Alara, do you have any questions for this scumbag?
She just looks down and she's looking at him with pleading, like, she's very innocent. And she says, why would you do this to your own, why would you do this to your own people? And he looks at her and smiles and says in broken comments, all you can hear it, he says, he uses another elvish word or undercommon word here as well, because we are the, I don't know, I'm not going to make any words. We are the, we are the you are the Baksha. He says, and then he says a word, he says, that makes all of you subconsciously sort of put your hand to your ears, and he says, glory to Eris. And at Eris, that's when you sort of wince in pain. He says, may her plans be fulfilled. And then he bites down on something in his mouth, and he begins foaming.
I try to immediately reach into his mouth.
His mouth began foaming, and a quick, if anyone has...
I was trying to reach into his mouth.
He does bite down really quick. So,
Anyone has a what?
if anyone has something that can... Let's see what this would be. There are ways to... So he's biting down. He's dying. He's coughing up foam. He's foaming his mouth. Does anyone have remove poison? Does anyone have anything that could... Because he's definitely bitten down on something that's killing him.
Would any of my drugs keep him alive?
I cast command again. The command word is vomit.
Well, he already is vomiting, but it is uncontrollable because he's dying.
Oh.
Oh, so he... Okay.
I mean,
If no one has remove poison or cleanse poison or anything, then he's just going to die here.
No.
Alara!
I do like ice stuff!
See.
I can make it really dark! I can make him float!
If I were to cast enhance ability on him for Constitution, would help at all.
He is already under the effects of it, and it's killing him currently. This is like the cyanide capsule that spies, in the television have. So unless you have some way of removing the poison from his blood, then he will be dead in about 2 seconds.
Nope, I don't got anything. I mean, unless they make him rage, unless they put that ball of fury into his mouth.
I don't think that'll help.
I quickly smash his kneecaps.
He doesn't react. He's just convulsing, and then
I'm guessing spare the dying effect buys any time.
and then this is an instant kill though. He's not unconscious. It is straight to dead.
Okay.
So if you have Revivify, that would work as well to bring him back.
Nobody's got a. No one. Does anybody have a diamond or 300 gold pieces?
No.
I have 300 gold.
Yeah, got 300 gold.
I don't. But yeah, so he does expire. He just you smash his kneecaps in frustration.
Yeah, just quickly.
But there's no reaction from him. He's just convulsing the same way, and then he's still covered in his own vomit, and the foam kind of spilling out of his mouth onto the floor too.
Damn it.
Well, that's just perfect. I guess not.
You do know, for those holy persuasion, that he used the word Eris, which it refers to as the evil goddess. It's strange that he used that term for her because her name is kind of like Voldemort's in Harry Potter. You don't say her name outright. You call her by a title, like the Fallen One or the Betrayer or something like that. You never use her actual name when you address her because it's like sacrilege to do so.
So, would it be crazy to say... Actually, never mind. That's dumb. So what did we learn, like, in summary? We learned that King of Spades or Clubs was...
King of Clubs was working with Norath. He was also supplying these drow with the fury they needed to poison the drow here.
I think Slizik is kind of taken aback by that, just because he thinks, this is in his head, but he thinks they're kind of right. Like, the drow are kind of in a shit spot right now.
And
so I think you just see he looks troubled.
Their purpose was probably, if they are working with Norath, their purpose was to probably keep the dwarves tied up on the home front end so they can't contribute to the war effort. Trying to put down an armed resurrection inside your own house, so to speak, kind of takes priority.
I guess I'll just say out loud, like, after looking troubled for a second, like, look, I'm not, I don't claim to be the smartest man around. I don't claim to be a moral authority. Certainly don't claim to be a moral authority. But is what this man did wrong? I mean, look at Alera. Look at the way your people live. I mean, look at...
She says, what do you mean?
Look, you are I hate to say it, it'll take this the wrong way, but you are a sub-race in this city. You are a slave class, essentially. And this man seemed to want to...
I don't think that's going to really help the conversation much.
I respond to your comments on it, and I say that... was Alaric?
No, you guys go ahead. I'm saying, I was interjecting for Erlen. Basically, there was heavy hints that the policies set into place by the dwarves were worded or put into place in such a way to keep the drow oppressed, to remove any ability of theirs to change their standing in any sort of way in the city. They reluctantly took in the drow after the end of the war because it was the only place they could stay. There's this stigma associated with drow because they were turned evil by the evil goddess. Some of them broke away. They broke free of the mind control and switched back. But there's still that stigma there, similarly with like half orcs and tieflings and stuff like that, because their ancestors were on the side of evil.
So to Slizik's comments, I respond to that. Or Doc responds to that. Friend, well, I appreciate this you offer. Is a losing war really the best fate for these people? A war they could hope to win? Countless innocents lost, bloodshed, stigma renewed, worsened? I don't think this is...
I don't know. All I could say is if I was in their situation, I couldn't say that I wouldn't struggle somehow, even if it was ultimately not particularly effective.
They're taking these people's free will away. They're forcing them to fight and die.
Look, I don't approve of the methods here. I'm just saying I can't blame people for having these feelings.
Friend, for future generations, for people, this is the greatest victory we can hope for, met through comfort, forgiveness. Bloodshed is...
I guess Slizik probably didn't think of that.
He's a very to the point, in the now sort of person.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I like it. No, I like it.
So he kind of like thinks about that. I suppose it's not hard to draw a line from point A to B of how they got here, I suppose. That's all. I'm not making any sweeping decisions here. I'm just saying it's troubling.
The place from which I come is one with forgiveness and Darren.
Sorry, you cut
We
out
do
there.
not look on to outsiders.
Oh,
The
I
place
see.
from which I emanate is not. We look on to others. Help. Kind. I hope to see that change elsewhere, and to see that not become the rest of it.
Yeah.
I see its effect. I don't.
You're cutting out pretty bad.
It's the internet.
You
I
want to type
don't
it?
wish. Yes, we're going to do just that.
Sorry, just cannot see what you're saying. So what's Alera's like reaction? to all
She is
this?
stunned by. She knelt down on her knees to talk to this drow, and she's stunned, like a stunned silence. She hasn't really been talking or acknowledging your conversation. You've sort of been speaking around her.
Right. Okay, so he says that.
Yes, not a robot. A bit crushed robot is saying.
It's weird. I never used to care about this stuff before.
Oh, he's becoming a better person.
I suppose. I mean,
Yeah, she just appears dazed and confused.
Well, I suppose it's some solace that this is the only operation like this and that we closed it down, but I mean, what's our next steps here?
I mean, our next steps would be to. I guess it would be to probably try to loot as many people as we can at this point.
Certainly, let the king know.
Yeah.
If this indeed was the only operation of its kind down here, well, we know there may be more of these type of people. However, their operation, these random attacks have stopped. We've eliminated the source. We can get the dwarves on our side and hopefully get them to have the drow involved in the fight as well.
I mean, you do have some sort of sway over, as emissaries of Stormhaven, who have been long-time trading partners with Khazar-El-Dun. You might have some sort of sway, maybe improving the lives of the drow here. You're also friends with Brenna as well. She seems more open-minded than most, as well. That's the dwarven smith that for the new people.
What was her name?
Brenna Stonesinger. She's now the head smith, so she has also sway as well, like the head mage / blacksmith of the city now. Yeah, it's fine. I'm about to end up soon, as well. So I mean, especially if you want them to contribute to the war effort, improving the lives of drow would be something to consider. So you can always push for that as well. But
We don't have any dwarves in our party we could talk to this about.
Oh, we
damn it.
don't.
That'd be really nice. Sort of dramatically fulfilling if we had a dwarf in here right now.
yeah, I mean,
Something worth.
What's up?
I was saying something worth discussing. Should we
Certainly.
figure out how we're going to dispose of? Should we dispose of the machine somehow?
Yeah,
Or rather,
it is. While you don't see any bottles attached to these pipes, like there's a way for these bottles to be attached to the pipes at the bottom, at the base where you are at. While you don't see any attached, there's still this humming going on from the machinery, and there's occasional thuds. So the machinery is still very active, but there's no one manning it, so to speak.
Well, I can attempt to figure it out.
If that doesn't work, the old Slick
The
strategy.
the old mall.
So are we just gonna break him until he just?
Oh, this guy's.
Oh yeah, no, your prisoner is dead. He is totes dead. Yeah, you're talking about the machinery, I thought. Like,
Yeah.
figuring out how that
I mean,
works.
I mean, if we break. Here's the thing, though. Do we know if there was already pre-existing drugs in here? Because if there's pre-existing drugs, we're all just gonna kill each other if we try to break this right now. I think that we try to set up
that's what I was
something that.
wondering.
I think everyone else might get yourselves to safety. Take that ladder, and I'll attempt to undo it.
Will you be all right?
I'm sure I will.
You have quite the tolerance.
I trust that you all shall also shouldn't be too. Well, I suppose we don't know if you're able to cast spells while this effect is on you, but I believe all of you should be able to restrain me should I be not in control of myself.
I'm on it.
All right. Yes,
Alaric.
Alaire.
Like, stay away.
Yeah, Alaire will need some help because she's still in that dazed and confused state.
I'll walk her outside, I suppose. Like up the.
Yeah.
You need someone required to be with you to restrain you.
Yeah.
No, that shouldn't be too much of an issue. I'll just stay down here, and if you don't hear anything back, or if you call at me and I don't answer...
You do have message, right? You could message them.
Yeah.
If he's.
If he's conscious.
Yeah.
If you don't hear a message back from me in, I don't know, 10 minutes, send the president.
Yeah, we'll
I'll make,
go with that.
I'll make some noise. I'll call up to you, say, everything's all right. And if I don't say that, then everything's not all right.
All right.
Ironclad.
All right. So the rest of you sort of leave, just in case.
Is there anything that anyone can help me with? I am going to be interfacing with this machine, although I am, not to brag, a rather sharp, clever fellow. If there's anything anyone can...
I mean, the only thing that I can probably assist you with is probably helping you quickly get things out of the way if something.
Give me an investigation check, Alistair.
If there's any delicate pieces.
No, sorry.
to-
Not an investigation, I'm a perception. That'll work too.
Whoa!
All of these, you see some runes and stuff here, some letters, but you don't recognize what it is.
Was it common draconic?
You haven't.
I do know deep speech.
It is not deep. It is based on where you are and who is operating these machines. You think it might be undercommon.
Alara?
Huh?
I'm sorry. You seem to be going through something, but are you able to just quickly translate this and then we'll get you out of here?
Oh, okay. You guide her back to the machine. She looks over it for a while, and it looks to be like simple sort of on-off sort of levers. There are a bunch of levers, but there are two that she notes. One is on and one is off.
Can she read the runes?
It's currently on. Like, one of the levers is currently in the on position.
Oh, that's just what it's. I see.
There's a bunch of them, but she points out the on and off one.
Seems like a pretty simple situation. Should we get back now, or is it just kind of flip a switch situation?
So is that what I've kind of determined is just that sort of...
It looks like it. There are a bunch of other ones, but it looks like she explains to you, because she's not good on... She's good on science, but, like, her knowledge of science is limited based on where she has been, so she doesn't really know a lot about gas and stuff and how it works. But she says, She doesn't know percentages, and she says the other stuff is like for adjusting the percentage. And they're like timers for release and how much you want released and what density you want it to be, or so it's like other levers and switches are for like a timetable if you want a timed release or a manual release, and then how much of them you want to release at those times, and also how potent you want it to be, if you want to dilute it or if you want it to up the concentration or lower the concentration.
First off, I'm going to try and turn the concentration all the way down.
Right. The lowest it will go is 5%.
Okay, I'll do that.
Right now it is at 25.
All right, popping it down to 5%.
And the humming gets a little quieter.
Okay, and then I'll attempt to shut it down.
All right, and then when you shut it down, the humming and the occasional thumping and whirring of gears and whatnot also falls silent. And the smell in the air, the very faint smell of fury, begins to fade.
All right. I now I want to just kind of like, I want to try and disassemble this machine, like not just like.
Right.
smash
This will require some rolls.
it. Okay, I will add it to myself.
Yeah, it'll be straight intelligence because you don't have anything else to sort of help you, or background or knowledge about chemicals stuff.
All right. Come on.
After this, I gotta get going.
Yeah, we're gonna end after what she does. Yes. So you see, you with there are some words here that Alaire will also help you with, but with that, and with your vast knowledge of studying at the colleges of Odessa, you think you see some. You're not familiar with alchemy, but you've dabbled, of course. So you see some like components that you deem as critical in this operation. And do you want to simply remove them, or do you want to destroy those components?
What's the like? I think just
With a 28, you can do either.
I want to disassemble it. Just remove it.
All right. Yes. You can remove those components. A nozzle here. A like an O-ring sort of thing here, and some other stuff too. But yeah, you disable this machine. You remove 3 critical components of it.
All right.
I'll call up to everyone. All right, I'm taking it down.
All right.
Excellent.
And you guys, Alistair. Well, I'm ending the session, so I'm gonna monologue / walk you guys back out, basically. So you guys all gather yourselves. You've taken a breather. This will probably be a short rest. If you want to spend any hit die, while Alistair was fiddling with the machine.
Yes, please.
Yes.
So if for those wounded, you can definitely do that. But you all sort of gather yourselves, and Alistair comes out holding these 3 components. They're very small, but and then you guys sort of leave that house behind you.
I'll just kind of take a cloak and put it over Alara.
Yes, she will thank you, but in a very small voice.
Yeah. Oh, that was a good sesh.
That was a good session. Yep.
Oh yeah.
Thank you for our new players for joining.
Yeah.
I hope
for
this
sure.
got you a taste of what the game is like. Next session, you guys probably will be leaving Khazar-El-Dun, unless you just get on some wild tangent.
Oh, I'm here, so.
So if you have anything in particular you want to do or investigate, because I don't have anything planned per se, except finishing up, getting treaties signed and stuff like that. So if you have anything else you want to do that I don't have planned, let me know so I can start building that in and working on it. But I have some stuff for Odessa planned too. If your character is from there, or you want maybe a portion of their lives to have been spent there and want to implement some stuff as well, let me know and give me
I'm
some
planning on
ideas.
having a serious political discussion with the
All
king.
right, yeah. You can definitely count on Lara and Brenna as your allies. So,
As far as Slizik can, anyway.
yeah. So keep in mind you'll have to persuade the High King here, but you got a lot of cards in your hand, so hopefully it'll go well.
Okay, I seriously
I'd
gotta
be
get
down
going.
to assist with that.
Oh, for sure.
Take care.
I'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Good night.
Yeah. All right, and I'll see you guys later as well.
Yep.
Bye,
Okay,
everybody.
take care, Talon.
Yep. Bye, everyone. Thank you. Yeah, everyone. If I don't think anyone watched, but thank you if you did, or if you view this later on YouTube, thank you for watching. We should be back the 9th. We might be missing some people there because I think someone sent me a message saying we'll be able to miss it, but just letting you guys know that's when our next time is sort of going to be the 9th of January. Yep. All right. See you guys then. Thank you for playing, everyone.